And I think we are live. Yes, indeed. Awesome. Let's see really quick. Wait for a couple people to start joining. But I'm pretty sure we are live. Great. Okay. Welcome everybody. How are you doing? Happy Saturday afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. But man, I can't believe we actually did it. Man, and it's all thanks to you. But while, of course, classic PS5 style, I always have to make sure that I share the link on Twitter, so that way more people can see it. And share the link, leave a like, all that fun stuff. Subscribe if you're new. We're going to be talking about lots of fun stuff today. And just celebrating this amazing achievement, which we've all earned. Not just me, but all thanks to you as well. Let's see. I'm going to type 100K subscribers. We did it, everybody. Tune in. I should have already had this going, but whatever. Tune in to the Miles live stream. I'll just say live stream, where we're currently playing through Miles Morales, which we're going to do a New Game Plus, by the way, a full-on New Game Plus file, which I already have saved right at the very bottom there. We're going to dive into it. Tune in for live stream, we're currently playing through Miles Morales. PS5. Talking about Marvel Spider-Man 2. And Spider-Verse, which I saw and it was phenomenal. A lot of people saying it's the greatest Spider-Man movie of all time. This is the greatest Spider-Man thing of all time. Like, that's just, you know, bias talking. Like, it is a fantastic film, don't get me wrong. And I actually think I do like it more than Into the Spider-Verse. But a lot of people always get, you know, a little bit stir-crazy whenever a new Spider-Man thing comes out. Myself included, especially when it comes to the games. But it was fantastic. I still think my favorite Spider-Man movie was Spider-Man 1 from, you know, 2002 with Tobey. I love the second one with Doc Ock, but the Green Goblin stuff with Willem Dafoe, that's some of my favorite Spider-Man stuff ever. Michael Davis, no, I will not spoil the Across the Spider-Verse movie in this stream. We'll talk about, like, my review and my thoughts, but, like, any massive spoilers might be saved for later in the stream, but don't expect any massive plot spoilers to be discussed here, because some people still haven't seen it, and it just came out, so I won't ruin that experience for you. But go see it. Definitely go see it. And don't watch any of the clips online. That kind of ruins just the experience of seeing it in the theater for yourself for the first time. Let's see. Everybody tune in the live stream. We're currently playing Q&A and more. Join the fun. And yes, I apologize in advance, everybody, if my mic is popping or it's bad quality. I never stream, really. I'm not a big fan of streaming, or I'm not really akin to streaming as often as I do with making videos, as I've said in all my previous streams. But this is a very, very special occasion that I'm lucky to share with all you, and I just wanted to kind of get that out there to spend time with all you and make this day a memorable one. Finally, sent out the tweet. I apologize for taking so long, but that's okay because we're only 4 minutes in, and some people still may have not seen the stream, so that's fine. But again, yes, everybody, we made it. We made it to 100,000 subscribers, everybody. I can't believe that we're even here. Like, I genuinely shed a tear yesterday when I saw the number go up. I wasn't even looking at my phone. I was, like, actually out doing errands. And I'm still currently attending San Francisco State University, and I'm taking summer classes. So I'm actually preparing for my next big class to start this Monday, actually, on June 5th. And I was doing errands to try and prepare and get stuff ready for, you know, when that day comes. And I saw Spider-Verse on Thursday, just to, like, you know, see it and get out of the way, like, because I obviously was super excited to see it, but, like, I had to also prepare for all my stupid classes that I'm taking. But when I was out doing errands, I just checked, like, how the video I recently posted was doing, the 101 video, and I saw that the channel had just reached 100,000 subscribers, and I was in shock. I was blown away, honestly. And I can't thank you all for being here, showing your support, whether you're old, new, someone who's just a fan of Spider-Man, who doesn't know anything about me. Totally fine, but it's all thanks to all of you for doing this, and I couldn't be where I am today without your support. So everybody, thank you, thank you, thank you. And everyone in the chat is absolutely welcome. Feel free to like the stream, share it, do a super chat. Don't have to, all optional. Your presence is more than enough, and that's what matters the most. So everyone, thank you for joining, and I'm so sorry I'm not reading any of the comments, but I will try my best to, because it's just me. No Spidey Squad members in the party right now. They might join later, but I didn't let them know in advance I was going to do that, because I didn't know if I was going to do this or not, because I still have to prepare for my classes in the next coming days. But I just thought I have to do it. It's a celebratory stream. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and we got to do it for all you guys. So let's go. What is up? Demarion Larkin, Douglas Tyser, Tyler McKenzie, Ali Channel, SCP No LOL, Nick Victory, Fire 007, Ivy, Mark Shannon, Wisdom, Iro 00, Gibson Harley, my boy Sino Guards in here, Christian Snell, Decian, Jisnu, Kittle, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing any of your names, Leon YT, Georgie Mama Shalavi, what is up guys, Headshot, Michael Davis 2, my boy Stealth Gamer is here, Franco Greco, Spider-Fan 2006, Gibson Harley, Bin Dog, Shumik, Marcella Gamer 69, Dat Nixka Kai, Ted Edward, Tava Smolka, everybody. Thank you for joining. Arkham 927, Malcolm X Rodriguez, Ender Productions, Comic Book King, BSK and Charge 1822, Arsalan Patel, Internet Mouse, It's Jaden, Muffin, Kevy Rez, Spider Jin, Mark, Joseph Ruth, DOC, everybody. How are you doing? Thank you again for joining. Man, amazing. Thank you guys for everything. But without further ado, of course, in honor of Across the Spider-Verse coming out, I wanted to, of course, like, people are like, why aren't you streaming Spider-Man PS4? Because that's where it all started. I know. That is my favorite Spider-Man game of all time. I know. But we have to do it in honor of the other Spider-Man, whose movie just released today or yesterday, technically, of Miles Morales with Across the Spider-Verse. Honestly, fantastic movie. It made me love Miles even more as a character, surprisingly, which I didn't think was possible, but it was now with this film. And it's technically the closest thing that we have to Marvel's Spider-Man 2 right now, which we're definitely going to talk a lot about in this stream, as well as Across the Spider-Verse, a Q&A. If any of you have questions for me, I'll be more than happy to answer if I can, if I acknowledge the chat, and just anything. So without further ado, we're going New Game Plus mode, guys. Ultimate difficulty, let's see, we have listening mode, yep, headphones, performance RT. Again, I apologize if my mic starts fitzing out or anything. I'll put subtitles on so you guys can actually hear what Miles is saying and read what he's saying. We're out. Let's go. All right. I love the intro of this game, but everybody, again, I only started on clearly just, you know, oh, gonna get copyright already, but let me see, actually audio, yeah, let's turn that down for multiple reasons, so you can hear me, but also because the licensed music is going to get slammed on us. But that's okay, because it is a banger. Let's see. But yes, everybody, Miles, wow. I mean, Across the Spider-Verse was phenomenal, but also thank you to each and every single one of you who have shown support ever since 2016, when I first started YouTube with just my iPhone, all the way to now in 2023. 7 years later, all in essence and in validation and in dedication to our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And I've been a Spider-Man fan ever since I was 4 years old, when they first introduced, when I first saw him introduced in the 2002 Tobey Maguire film. That was my introduction to the character, and I grew up loving him ever since, and then that got me into reading all the comics, seeing all the cartoons, and, of course, playing all the games. And even though I'm a diehard Spider-Man fan, I'm also a big gamer, and I love, so many different game series like Ratchet & Clank, Uncharted, The Last of Us, Mass Effect, Assassin's Creed, Splinter Cell, Alan Wake, which I can't wait for Alan Wake 2, the Persona series, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, that's, a classic. Wealth of games, literally, at home and also here where I'm staying at San Francisco State University. And even though I always really connected and loved seeing the Spider-Man movies and shows, which I loved when I was a kid growing up, I really found solace in playing the games. Like the Spider-Man 1 movie time game on the PS2 was my first ever video game I ever played. And not only was I blown away by visually how good it looked at the time, but also just playing as Spider-Man himself, playing as that hero that we all know and love, and seeing him get that type of treatment back then, especially if you played that game for yourself and knowing how incredible those visuals looked, was wild. And now look how far we've come with the PS5 and even the PS4 generation of Spider-Man games, starting with Spider-Man PS4 and now Miles and now Marvel Spider-Man 2 and now even Marvel's Wolverine. All these incredible Marvel games that we're getting are just the best. Man. But God, I just cannot wait to see what Insomniac will do for Marvel Spider-Man 2. And a fun fact before I forget, this was actually confirmed on one of the interviews that was held from Eurogamer and Brian Intihar. Sadly, the game Marvel Spider-Man 2 will not have, they confirmed this, it's not going to have a seamless day-night cycle. So I know a lot of people wanted them to include like a seamless day-night cycle like what we saw in the previous open-world Spider-Man games, like Spider-Man 2, the movie tie-in game, and even Spider-Man 3, the movie tie-in game. But no, sadly, the time of day will only be locked to either whichever time of day you choose or certain points of the story. So just like the first game with Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales, they do that where right now it's always locked to like the sunset time, and the nighttime it's going to shift to later on in this portion of the game. But yeah, in Marvel Spider-Man 2, it's the same way. It's no seamless day-night cycle. It's only just a locked time of day, which I actually find a bit disappointing because it's a full next-gen PS5 exclusive, and even some of the other open-world PS5 exclusives or PS4 exclusives, just PlayStation exclusives, like Horizon Forbidden West or Horizon Zero Dawn had seamless day-night cycles. So I would have thought that Insomniac would do the same thing for Spider-Man 2. But, Insomniac is not Guerrilla Games. Maybe it's just all the technicalities that can't be done on the PS5 with everything else they're planning to incorporate in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Who knows? But, again, seeing what we're going to get with Marvel Spider-Man 2, moving from Miles Morales and the improvements they made with the swinging and the traversal and the open world itself with how, detailed the city looks, we're in good hands. We are in very, very good hands. But yeah, I love telling this story because it's true, and it's very emotional to me personally because when I was in 2016, I was 18 years old. So right now I'm 25 years old, but in 2016 I was 18 years old, and I had just graduated high school. And at that time, I was thinking about going into political science as my major because I thought, oh, I actually tutored people when I was in school, and I thought, oh, I could kind of do some type of occupation or job in that area, like tutor people and teaching and political science. Like, yeah, that makes sense. And it was something like I liked doing and I was good at doing, but I never really loved doing. You know, there's a very different viewpoint on when you do something as a job that you like to do versus what you do as a job that you love to do. And I like teaching people. I like being like helpful and, you know, assisting people in their academic studies. So I thought that might make sense for my career path. And then I was already planning to attend college at the time, where I went to San Jose State University, majoring in political science. And when I did that, I'm like, okay, fine, let's just see how it goes. And I didn't take a gap year from after graduating high school and took some time off and then went to college. I immediately went to college right after I graduated high school. So that was a little bit of an error on my part because I didn't really know what I wanted to do at the time. I just thought that might be the best direction I could take, but it's not something I really felt truthful to, you know? So when I did that, all of a sudden, when I was watching E3 2016, because I always watched all the big E3 conferences every single time that they happened, because, again, I'm a massive gamer, and I loved when E3 was like the big gamer convention that we all, you know, crooned to and loved watching to see what all the news was. And 2016, you know, there was that rumor bubbling up that, oh, there's this brand new Spider-Man game being made by Sucker Punch, who are the developers of the Infamous games, which is another amazing franchise of games that I love. And I thought, no freaking way they're going to do an Infamous-style Spider-Man game on the same level of quality like the Uncharted games, because at the time, that was my favorite video game franchise ever, was the Uncharted series. And then when they announced E3 2016, it was literally the whole convention. I was looking out for any type of Spider-Man tease or something, and they showed... That was like, for me personally, that is still the best E3 that Sony has ever had. They had the God of War reveal, another amazing series of games. The God of War PS4 reveal, Days Gone, Shadow of the Colossus remake was 2017, I think? I don't know, I forget, but that's another amazing game that I love, Shadow of the Colossus. But they had like all these new big PS4 exclusive. Death Stranding was another one. You know, Days Gone, God of War, The Last Guardian. I think they showed more stuff. They showed more stuff for Horizon, I think, too. Detroit Become Human, I think. Arkham VR was a big one, I think. I'm pretty sure. Like all these crazy games, and it was like this is an insane show even without Spider-Man. It was just an incredible like attribute of how amazing the gaming industry is and what the innovation is that they're doing for all these titles. And mainly with what Sean Layden said, who was the current president of PlayStation at the time, who's like, games allow us to immerse ourselves in new worlds, new, you know, universes, and show all these stories from new perspectives that we can interact with and, you know, transport ourselves into. And I'm like, he knows exactly what he's talking about. In my opinion, Sean Layden was a visionary. And when they showed all these games, like, God, what a great show. Well, I guess we're not going to see Spider-Man because it's already, like, near the end of the event. And literally, right before they showed the Days Gone gameplay demo, because they already showed Days Gone earlier in the event, they showed Death Stranding, which was the brand new Hideo Kojima game. And when they did that, I'm like, okay, great, we're done. And then they showed this shot of the city. They showed this shot of this random, you know, city, and I'm like, oh, is this like, I don't know what this is. What's happening? And then they showed Insomniac's logo. I'm like, okay, it's not Sucker Punch, so I guess that's not going to be what we wanted to see with Spider-Man, because we all thought Sucker Punch was going to do Spider-Man, then it's not. And then they show the city street. They show the city street of New York, and then they show like this crisp-looking view of the city with so many people, back-to-back traffic, and this narration from this guy. I'm like, is this what I think it is? And then they showed, you know, coming from a guy from Queens, it's, you know, it's scary as it feels. Everything hinges on the guy from Queens. It's about as scary as it feels. No pressure, right? And then they show the Marvel logo. And then I think I flipped the coffee table that I had in my living room at my house when I was watching it, because I'm like, no effing way! And it was real. And it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And when they showed the advanced suit for the very first time, I was like, this is amazing, because I knew at that point it wasn't like a tie-in to the MCU Spider-Man, who at the time I actually really liked because of Civil War, and he was getting his own movie with Homecoming afterwards, but Civil War had just come out, because remember, Civil War came out in May of 2016, first introduction to MCU Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man was revealed, Spider-Man PS4 was revealed a month later. And when they did that, I was like, is this going to be like a tie-in to the MCU Spider-Man or whatever? And no. And then hearing it, I'm like, I knew immediately that was Yuri Lowenthal's voice. I'm like, is this Peter Parker? And then when it was, and then they showed the, overall new tech of the PS4, obviously the parkour sequence where he's going through the coffee shop, him swinging in the city, the visuals of the suit and how detailed the open world looked, I burst into tears. And then they showed the big new white spider logo with the red background, hashtag Spider-Man PS4, and I was in shock. It was like, because again, I love Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire, and I love Andrew's movies, and I really like Civil War, which I think is, besides No Way Home, the best stuff we gotten for MCU Spider-Man. I still think about games like Web of Shadows and Ultimate Spider-Man and Shattered Dimensions as some of my favorite Spider-Man experiences to have ever been made. And this was all before, Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse came out too. So we were still ripe for Spider-Man, content. Spider-Man fans were hungry at that point in time, and we were being fed incredibly well when we saw all this stuff come out for the character with E3 and, the MCU starting to kick off with Tom Holland and as Spider-Man and all that, because we were so burned by the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie tie-in game that came out in 2014, which was, awful. And we wanted that next big Spider-Man gaming experience to actually be delivered in the best way possible. And when they show that, I'm like, this is going to change lives. Not just mine, but also change lives in the sense of how people perceive Spider-Man. And it did. And it has. And it still is with Marvel Spider-Man 2 on the way. And when they did that, I was like, I couldn't sleep. That entire night when they revealed that trailer for Spider-Man PS4, I couldn't sleep. It was the only thing I could think about. I kept looking at that trailer over and over again. I kept watching people's reactions on YouTube to seeing, and the live crowd reaction. There were several videos of people watching that reveal trailer in the crowd live at E3 in the audience. And I sadly wasn't able to attend because I never went to E3 before 2018, which was my first E3 I ever went to. But when they showed the reveal trailer for the crowd at E3 2016 and the crowd was recording their reactions, people went ballistic when they showed the city, what is this? Is this Spider-Man? And then they showed Insomniac. It's wait, is this Spider-Man? And then they hear, Queens, they see the New York street, and then they see Marvel at the very end. No way. And people went nuts. They flipped out. And when they did, I was like, this is going to be the biggest thing I think that will ever happen for the character of Spider-Man. Of course, again, before we got into the Spider-Verse and No Way Home and even all the other crazy, Spider-Man stuff we've been getting since then, but it blew my mind. And when that happened, I, again, couldn't sleep, and I had to talk about it. I just had to get my excitement out there somehow. So I started to, literally at the time, I had no idea what went into making a YouTube video, doing editing or commentary or uploading a video on the internet or whatever, but I took my iPhone, I sat in front of my TV, I recorded the screen on my TV, talked into my iPhone just saying, guys, this is the craziest trailer, and I looked at the little description of the trailer because some people thought, oh, is this a tie-in to Spider-Man Homecoming, the upcoming Spider-Man movie, because it wasn't out yet. And I just had to get my thoughts out there, but also inform people guys, this is not a tie-in to the MCU. This is not a continuation of Tom's Spider-Man or Tobey or Andrew's. This is a brand new Spider-Man, a brand new interpretation of the character in a brand new video game. And I had to just get my thoughts out there, and I just started with uploading a little small video with my iPhone. And, lo and behold, I had no clue what I was doing, but I spent a full year after that just learning about how to edit videos, commentate, post things, creating a social media. Because I didn't even have Twitter or Instagram at the time. I still don't have Instagram. I just use Twitter and YouTube, and that's it. But I wanted to get more, interactive with the public because, guys, this game is going to be incredible, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. For the 2 years that we would spend waiting for the game, since 2016 to 2018, just talking about it, and then that, one thing led to another where people started to comment on my videos, and people started to share their own hype and excitement for the game together. And when they did, we were like, hey guys, we noticed that, thank you for watching my videos, but also we're all equally hyped for this game, for Spider-Man PS4. Why don't we form like a group or something of fans, or just of people who are equally as excited for this title, to spread the excitement, to share hype and just get that interest, afloat and not let it die down, because we know, like, despite Homecoming coming out and all these other Spider-Man properties, the main thing we were all looking for was Spider-Man PS4. And when they showed it, it was like a dream, of course, at E3 2017, where they actually showed the gameplay demo. But the first trailer, we had no idea when we were going to see it again, but we were just like, we got to keep going, because this is going to be a genuinely amazing experience. And then, lo and behold, the Spidey Squad was formed, where we got all these amazing, talented, incredibly artistic individuals from all around the world who equally love Spider-Man, and we just kept the hype going from all walks of life. And I got to meet so many of my lifelong friends through the Spidey Squad, and I'm just, again, a short part of that. Like, amazing people like, Arcoin, who previously went by Spidey Stretch, and Spidey Skater Boy, Spidey Bugle, Vigilante Spider, get my boy Stealth Gamer, who's in here, Spidey Outcast, Talented Gamer HD, Spidey Fan for the win. Everybody put their heart and soul into creating a fan community that is honestly more than just a mere community. I believe it is a family of fans who not only love and care about the character of Spider-Man, but also love and care about each other just as much, if not more so, than the character that we all equally love. And through that, I've made so many amazing connections and met so many creative and talented and wonderful people that I'm now lucky enough to call my friends. And it would not have been able to have happened without, but specifically Spider-Man PS4 being the catalyst that started all this in the first place. So I'm beyond baffled, and of course, as you all know, or you should know, is our group, the Spidey Squad, is in Spider-Man PS4 as a collectible Easter egg that you can collect for yourself in one of the backpacks in the open world of Marvel's New York. And also, fun fact again, my name, even, my own name, Evan F., specifically, not Evan Falarka, the full name, but Evan F., is directly teasing me as an Easter egg in the side mission where you are doing the PI detective work for that woman who's like suspecting her husband of cheating on her or something, and it ends up being like a big GTA 4 Easter egg hunt, which is awesome. And you stop these guys who are going on this car chase. That is in Spider-Man PS4 on one of the whiteboards that you can find when taking pictures of. That is on the game, showing my name again as an Easter egg in the game, and that's all thanks to the passion and love that Insomniac has shown the group and also the fans of Spider-Man, from all the way from 2016 to 2018 when Spider-Man PS4 released, to 2020 when Miles Morales released, now with Marvel Spider-Man 2 coming out in 2023, later this year. It is a wild ride, and I'm just so thankful that all of you are on it with me. And I'm sorry, I haven't read the comments. Again, no one's in the party with me. I went on that whole rant just to tell you my backstory of being a YouTuber. It's all done. I'm sorry, but I want to read everyone's comments. Landon1195, thank you for the $2 donation. Who do you think is going to be Venom? In Marvel's Spider-Man 2, you mean? Man. Well, I did that video where, we're all theorizing at this point that Peter could be Venom, because that does happen in the Ultimate Comics, and it could very well happen here for Spider-Man 2. But the more I think about it, the more I'm actually wondering if Insomniac is going to pull a red herring on everything, and the ultimate surprise of Marvel Spider-Man 2 could be that Eddie actually is in the game, and Venom actually does turn out to be Eddie Brock. That would be the craziest twist in the whole game, because they set up twice now at the ending of Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales that Harry is the one with the symbiote. He's the one encompassed in the tank with the, with the alien goo, keeping him alive. But he's dying. And the thing is that the symbiote is always akin to bonding with strong hosts, physically strong and mentally strong. And they could do that for Harry, if he is healed or something, but in the gameplay demo, they still say that he's dying. So he's still not well. And I don't know how the symbiote went on from Harry to Peter, but something's going on with Harry. Physically, he's obviously very sick. We don't know if he knows. I think it's safe to say he doesn't. I don't think he knows that Peter is Spider-Man, and I don't think that there's any reason for him to hate Peter. So I don't know if they would do that for him unless they show a really deep emotional narrative with him and Peter's relationship kind of falling out or something. Peter could also become Venom, again, like he does in the Ultimate Comics, which I think would be very emotionally impactful for Miles, because I know for a fact we're going to have to fight him as Miles at some point in the game, which is going to be amazing. And going to be super heart-wrenching for Miles to deal with, to fight his mentor and friend. But what if they're fooling all of us, and it turns out that the secret that they're showing for Marvel Spider-Man 2, that they're not showing for Marvel Spider-Man 2, is that Eddie is actually going to be Venom. Even though we know he exists in the universe, but he said on the goodbye card at the Daily Bugle, like, great working with you, Peter. So they have a good, normal relationship, it sounds like. That, like, they worked well together, they were co-workers, they weren't, like, Ultimate-style best friends at childhood, but they, like, respected one another, it seemed like, in the Daily Bugle for the little amount that we know about Eddie so far in the game's lore. But in the prequel comic, JJ is buying the Daily Bugle back. And MJ is also working at the Daily Bugle. And I know people don't want MJ missions in Spider-Man 2, but who knows? We could see them, and if we do, then we might be able to get an insight of MJ's working relationship with Eddie Brock, if he's still working at the Bugle, with JJ. And all that connection could happen for those characters bonding together, but also giving Eddie a story that would also allow him to become a main character, to have a presence in Marvel Spider-Man 2. So it's very up in the air. Like, the reason why I love Insomniac's take on Spider-Man so much is because they're doing so many new and intriguing things with all these characters. Like, we've never seen, the Finn Tinkerer be Miles Morales' best friend. We've never really seen the type of relationship that Peter had with Martin Lee and even Otto Octavius in the game's universe. Like, granted, you could say, oh, but they've done that in Spider-Man 2. Not to the extent of what we saw in Spider-Man PS4 with him actually helping Otto work on the Doc Ock tentacles throughout the game without him realizing it. That was amazing. But also just showing more and more interesting narratives to tell with Peter and Miles, both as Spider-Man, both in and out of the suit, that will really push him to his limits and also put him in new areas that is unfamiliar to general Spider-Man fans. So again, Harry could be Venom, Peter could be Venom, Eddie could be Venom, anyone at this point could be Venom. It is all up to what the narrative team wants for Spider-Man. And I'm sorry, Genki, I know you just, or Peter actually, I know he just gave us the Great Responsibility suit, which is great. I actually really like the suit. But in honor of Miles with Spider-Verse, you know what suit we're going to wear. Where is it? Wait, where is it? Am I blind? Is the Spider-Verse suit? No, God, there it is. I was like, where's the Spider-Verse suit? There it is. And we're going to wear the mods for it, too. So, how do we go to... There it is. The Bam, Pow, Wham. Going to do that for this one. And also the suit mods, which is the Vibe the Verse. Boom. So, full-on Spider-Verse Miles in his glory. So, yeah, Insomniac are such innovators when it comes to the narrative of how they're handling Spider-Man. So, anyone at this point could be Venom, and I can't wait to see who it is. Thank you. Again, I'm sorry I'm not reading any of your messages. I'm terrible at managing chats, which is why I rarely stream. Again, apologies. But leave a like, share the stream. Any support is appreciated. Thank you all in advance. Christopher Miguel, thank you for the 99-cent pound donation. Genuinely appreciate. Just Making Videos, $5 donation. And Eduardo Lorente, another $5 donation. Thank you both. For Just Making Videos, what if Peter's suit just keeps evolving closer to Venom, and then they make it so it goes to Eddie? What if Eddie had some sort of resentment towards him? That could definitely happen. Again, we don't know what Peter and Eddie's relationship is in the universe just yet. physically, because from what we heard so far, it sounds like we're friends. But after that, do they remain friends? Have they kept in touch with one another? We don't really know. So if they introduce Eddie as a playable character or something, which I definitely want Venom to be a playable character, I beg Insomniac, please God, let Venom be playable. I know Black Suit Spider-Man's are in the game, that's already fine, but I need Venom to be playable himself specifically. If we get that type of duality between Peter and Eddie, I'm all for it. And Eduardo Lorente, Evan, honestly, I think that Harry was a red herring, and it's clearly going to be Eddie Brock, because Insomniac likes to go comics accurate. That's half true, because again, look at what they did with the Tinkerer in Miles Morales. That's never been done in the comics. Is the Tinkerer's narrative with Finn Mason being first off a girl, but also Miles Morales' childhood friend. Usually Finn Mason's an older guy who's just like more of a black market salesman for giving supervillains better upgraded weapons and armor. It's never really a thing about him being, like full-on comic accurate like they could, but there's a lot more, depth to what would it be like if Peter has to fight Harry, who becomes Venom, even though if he is sick and weak, maybe the symbiote will somehow make him stronger afterwards, he's on Peter, go back to Harry, turn him into Venom, and then Peter and Miles both have to fight Venom, and unfortunately, Harry might die by the end of the game, and that in turn will make Norman Osborn become the Green Goblin, who I 1,000%, I 1,000% believe at this point that we are going to see a Green Goblin Easter egg or post-credit scene for Norman Osborn becoming the Green Goblin in the Marvel's Spider-Man universe. And that is going to be the main villain that we face off against in Marvel's Spider-Man 3, who's the Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, not Harry, because I think that he's going to die, and that is going to be the catalyst that pushes Norman over the edge. And another reason why it could be Harry is because, remember, Scott Porter, who previously played Harry Osborn in the Marvel Spider-Man series, both in Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales, he said he's not coming back. He said that he was actually recasted by Insomniac, who got another actor to better suit the visual style that they're going for Harry. And why would they do that unless Harry's going to have a bigger role in Marvel Spider-Man 2 as a character that we actually interact with, and not just hear in audio logs? So, again, is it Harry who's going to become Venom? Is it Eddie? Is it even Peter himself? Is it Miles? We have no clue, but the comic accurate thing is actually, I would disagree with, because they're taking so many liberties with the characters that we haven't seen before, and that's one of the best things about it. But we will see. We will see. There's definitely a lot of potential when it comes to dealing with the narrative, but also balancing, like what Brian Intar said in those interviews, is the fresh with the familiar. So doing something new and interesting, but also keeping it, similar to what people know. So it's like, oh, is Venom going to be Mary Jane? Like, I don't think so. They're going to go definitely with something that we can understand would make sense in the context of the game's story, but also hopefully do something that will be, new, like, oh, this isn't just a retelling of the Spider-Man 3 Venom story, or even the Spectacular Spider-Man Venom story, or the 90s Venom story, but it's all, like, it ties into itself, it's new, it's fresh, but it's also very, very encapsulating to the scope, to the narrative of Spider-Man. That's what I think is the most important. $2 donation from Landon and Daniel Pedroza. Thank you both. Landon, I think they're hiding Eddie Brock like they did Doc Ock. I think so too. And Daniel, I want Sandman to appear in Spider-Man 2. I would love that. I mean, he's already teased in the universe because of the Easter egg that we see of him in the vial of sand at Avengers Tower. So they could do that again, where they bust him out of it or something, and then he becomes a threat that Peter and Miles have to face off against, alongside of Kraven and Venom and Wraith even. But all the characters on the open world teased so many things, which I'm so excited for. So many of them, but mainly the Wraith, Yuri Watanabe, and also Black Cat. Black Cat is confirmed to be coming back, or at least still existing in the Marvel Spider-Man universe in New York, because she was, not only was she the first character that we saw revealed on that map, but also she has a new costume design. So clearly they're not going to just have her be like, oh, she's just there for being there, whatever, and not, be an impact. But she actually has a new overall character model that Insomniac designed for her character. Shocker looked the same, and so did all the villains in the Sinister Six, like the Doc Ock. They showed Doc Ock. They also showed, Scorpion, Electro, Tombstone was there too, Taskmaster also. So they're all there. But the thing is, like, who is going to be like a main villain threat, like a main mission type deal, or a side mission type deal? And I really hope, even though I know she probably will be a side mission thing, I would love to see her be a main mission, because Black Cat is an amazing character, performed beautifully by Erica Limbeck in this game, or in Spider-Man PS4 more specifically. But man, her relationship with Peter whenever he has the symbiote is always a standout feature of any Black Suit Spider-Man story. So we need to see that ASAP. Not service, but also for the falling out between Peter and MJ, because I'm sure they're going to have like a lot more relationship problems to deal with this time around. But mainly, like, what's that going to do with Peter's character arc? How he's going to separate himself from MJ maybe, and even Miles, because again, like what Brian said, and Insomniac in general, like, it's going to really show the impact on Peter's relationship with everyone he knows, but also how they're all going to really affect his loved ones in a negative way through the impact of addiction. And is addiction a very big narrative element or a very small narrative element, which a lot of people are like, is it going to be there just for like a little, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, nudge type deal, or is it going to be a big thing? No. Like, Insomniac can make clear it is a huge thing. Both Yuri Lowenthal and Insomniac have said, like, the Black Suit elements are going to be probably some of the biggest parts about the Marvel Spider-Man 2 narrative, and mainly for Peter's narrative. Like, that, they said, like, that deal of addiction and that downfall of him wearing the symbiote is going to be present throughout the entire game. Not just like, oh, a section of it or like a little brief moment, they wears it and they lets go of it. No, it is like the whole game, it sounds like. And I could not be happier. I am so stoked. Not only because the Black Suit is like one of my favorite Spider-Man stories, but also just of what that does for a character like Peter, who embodies everything that he possibly can with what Uncle Ben left with him, with the notion of great power comes great responsibility, and how that symbiote turns that mentality upside down, and what the power will do when it becomes so much power that he can't control it. That is excellent storytelling and an insane narrative that I can't wait Insomniac to dive into. Landon, another $2 donation. Crazy theories I've heard. Norman as Venom. I don't think so. Again, I think that's definitely a crazy theory. But again, I think it's more logically sound at this point that Norman will become the Green Goblin in this universe after Harry dies, and that's going to send him over the edge, and that will in turn be the catalyst to make him like take like the Goblin serum or something, or do an experiment on himself that will give him super strength and make him go crazy to go after Spider-Man. And that's also where I think he might uncover that Peter is Spider-Man and figure out that that's his secret identity or something, and make him go more aggressive towards like, oh, Peter, you took my son away from you? Well, I'm going to take your family away from you. Like, well, even though Aunt May's dead, he can still go after MJ or Miles or, even the Feast Shelter, because he still has a lot of people that know him at the Feast Shelter. Landon, again, do you think that there's a chance Felicia's son is real? That's a great question, because I actually am one of the few people that am, maybe not, I don't know if it's a few or not, but if it's a minority or a majority thing, but I'm in the notion that I'm actually upset that the son doesn't exist. I would have loved to have seen Peter and Felicia not only have a son, but also to see how he would have taken full-on responsibility for that, because even at the, if you paid as much attention to Spider-Man PS4 as I have, you know that the scene in the very end of the Black Cat DLC where he's in the cafe with MJ, and she asks, like, so, how does it feel to not be a dad? And he, Peter pauses for, a long time. He's like, man, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to think about that. And she's like, no, seriously, how are you doing? And he's like, honestly, and then he pauses again, and he's like, I'm kind of relieved. You know, I got a lot going on. That was a lie. In my opinion, I think that was a lie. I think that Peter actually was not only ready to commit to Felicia and be a dad and be there for her, but also wanting to have like a kid to take care of, a son to care for and be there for, because that's what he would have always done if, you know, he had the opportunity. And even though he might be considered too young at that point, because in Spider-Man PS4 he's 23 years old. In Miles Morales' game he's 24 years old. And now in Marvel Spider-Man 2 it takes place 10 months after Miles Morales, so he might be 25 years old, which is my age. But I think he actually was upset that he wasn't able to, like, the son wasn't real. I think that actually upset him, and obviously he tried to save face for MJ, just to be there for her in the moment. She's like, but I think you're going to be an amazing dad someday. And he's like, at the right time, with the right person, like what she says. But if that was real, I genuinely think he might have gone with Felicia. I think that, because that puts him in a whole different dynamic. Like, wow, like, we have a son. I have to be there for him and for you, and I'm sorry that I wasn't there for you, sooner because you didn't tell me. But he's like, he wanted to be there. And even if you read the Black Cat Strikes comic tie-in, which is absolutely incredible, there's so much more to Peter and Felicia's relationship in the Insomniac universe than what the DLC lets on. So I think there's so many different opportunities for the story to go. But if we get the return of Black Cat and she's like falling for Peter again or something, and if he has the falling out with MJ through the symbiote and he goes to Felicia to find comfort with her or something, and they try to have a son again, who knows? Like, who knows? But man, if they do that, I'm going to be so happy. You can't even understand how happy I'm going to be. Because I love... Felicia Hardy's one of my favorite characters in all of Spider-Man comics. Not just because, she's the wife, but also that her relationship with Peter is so much more dynamic and layered than, in my opinion, what we've seen with Mary Jane. Who's Spider-Man's true love, I get it, but Black Cat, Felicia Hardy, especially, and I know a lot of people, and I brought this up in several videos and Let's Plays and other live streams in the past, but if you read the Spider-Man comic, The Evil That Men Do, which I know is a very hot take amongst the Spider-Man community, but what they do with Felicia's character in that comic book and her love for Peter, her love for Peter grows even more for Peter outside of the Spider-Man suit, more so than when he is Spider-Man. And that comic shows that at the forefront. So that's amazing. Another super chat. Thank you. £5 donation from Sprung Out Gamer. Hey, Evan. Congrats on 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, dude. Been watching since the beginning, since the Spidey reveal trailer. Do you think you would ever do a video with Caboose? Oh, well, funny you say that. I've actually met Caboose. A couple times in person. Once at E3 2018, and then the other one at E3 2019, where we got to see the gameplay demo be revealed in person for Spider-Man PS4, and it was playable at the booth itself at E3 2018 when E3 was still a thing. Rest in peace, E3. And I met him, and he's great. And I also got to meet him again at the Avengers game E3 at E3 2019. And we've never done a video collab together on like either of our channels, but sure, like why not? Like, and the more the merrier. Like I always love getting to be able to interact with. Man, that suit looks so good. I always love to be able to interact with content creators like my boys, News to Astonish, Comic Blast Keenan, Ronnie Pugs, BitCloud Gaming, the Deeper Depths podcast, Doomkiller HD, Luke Cullen. I'm sorry for Iron Gen, Slick Moth, Salvage, everybody. Like I would not be here without them, for 100% fact. And they are some of the best people I've been able to interact with in the community. And the more people, and Joseph Woody, of course, I can't believe I forgot him. Woody Fam for life, hashtag Woody Fam. If I'm able to, the more people I'm able to interact with, the more I get out of being not only a better content creator, but also being a better fan of the community, to be able to interact with so many amazing people. And that's half the best part about the job. I also love, by the way, can I flip this? I don't know if it shows it. Does it? Yeah. So if you guys didn't know, and I also got to interview the actress who plays Rio Morales, Jacqueline Pignol, on my channel a couple years ago. is that the design that Insomniac added for, again, this is just another step of Insomniac's brilliance, is another narrative design that Insomniac incorporated into Miles' suit, like the main, black and red suit that we get, is that they said that the triangular shape that he has going down his chest is inspired by the Puerto Rican flag. And the triangle shape that flag has is incorporated into Miles's sketchbook here, and that's like the narrative reasoning that he puts into his suit's design, which is why it looks like this, with the triangle shape going down. It's supposed to look like the Puerto Rican flag, with that also similar triangle shape, which I think is absolutely fantastic from Insomniac's narrative team or just design team, whoever thought of that. That's amazing. Josh90, hey Evan, a $5 donation, thank you so much. I have a feeling that Black Suit Spider-Man is going to be really terrifying in Spider-Man 2, like villains and heroes alike will be scared. Yes. I mean, they even said that in the PlayStation blog, is that, like, people are scared of Black Suit Spider-Man. Like, it's a threatening presence that he has when he wears that suit. And I really can't wait to see what they do, like Web of Shadows style, where if you're in Spider-Man, if you played Spider-Man Web of Shadows, which you should if you haven't, if you're wearing the red suit and you go on the city street, people will clap and cheer for Spider-Man, like, yeah, Spider-Man, let's go. But then if you're wearing the black suit and you switch into the black suit, like, instantly, they're like, oh, get away from me, like, oh, you freak, menace, and they hate him. And they don't throw anything at him, but they pretty much would if they could, if the game designers allowed it. But following him, they're like walking away from him, and they're scared of him because they don't like that, menacing vibe. So I can't wait to see what the audience, what the civilian reactions will be in the city streets of New York to Black Suit Spider-Man. That's going to be a highlight for sure. Like, both Peter and Miles, like, they high-five the citizens, they take selfies with them, they hug them. It's like, are we going to get, like, Black Suit Spider-Man just, like, punching civilians, like Bully Lowenthal style, or are we going to get, like, Bully Maguire, like the finger gun down the street? Like, what are we going to, is it going to be both? I don't know, but because in the gameplay demo, we actually see Black Suit Spider-Man. He's like chasing Kraven and his goons, and even though he's angry throughout the whole demo, there's that one scene where, like, the citizens are on the tour boat and the guy's talking like the East River is actually not a river, but like a whatever, blah blah blah, and he's like, and Spider-Man's fighting on it right now. And when he says that, you see Black Suit Spider-Man like waving at the civilians. So he's like, he's angry, he's mean, but he's also cocky and showboating, which is exactly what you want from Black Suit Spider-Man, which is fantastic. And I love how they're doing that balance. Like, again, the heart and humor, but also the dark and serious stuff, which is, again, Insomniac going on full guns blazing with, firing on all cylinders when it comes to handling this game's narrative. Landon, another $2 donation. Thank you. Do you think there's a chance the sun is... Oh, I already answered that. Sorry. Well, I think... Didn't I answer that? I think I... Oh, that is a separate $2 donation. No, that is a different question. Sorry, thank you. Didn't I answer it? Do I think there's a chance the sun is real? I mean, I would like him to be real, but I don't think Felicia would lie to him about that and, like, keep it from him if it was the truth. Because I think it was real. No, sorry, I think it was fake, what she was saying. Like, hey, Peter, I have a son. Psych, I don't. I think that is fake, but I think that if they were to ever have a relationship like that, I don't think that she would hide that from him. I think she would actually tell him that. Oh my God! Wow, I didn't even see this. I'm so sorry if I'm late on all the super chats. Flex FL3XX, but Flex with a $100 donation. Thank you so much, dude. I am honored. You did not have to do that, but your passion, dedication means the world to me. So thank you so much. I'm honored that you would even think of doing that. Keep the money for yourself because you know you got to save up for when the collector's edition releases for Spider-Man 2. But thank you. I appreciate it. He says, hope we're able to throw cars when wearing the black suit. Yes. Web of Shadows style, which, again, we're already seeing a hybrid of Shattered Dimensions combat and Web of Shadows combat, where we're getting, like, the tendrils, the aggressiveness, the anger, but also, like, You know what I need? I'm sorry, Flex. I would love to throw cars too, and I think we might, like, either during a QTE or maybe during some point during combat if we go that crazy. But what I need is a rage mode. I need a rage mode in Spider-Man PS4 for Black Suit Spider-Man right now. I mean, I don't know how they could miss that opportunity, but like, if that better be, like, you know how there's, like, Miles has his Venom powers, and then he has the Mega Venom Blast when you charge up all the Venom bars, and then Peter, even though he doesn't have like a super move, he has all the suit powers. So he has like the Web Blossom, he has the what's it called? He has the Iron Spider arms now in the trailer, and even in the other suits, he has like the negative shockwave. He has the one-hit KO. He has the infinite throwing. He has the electric fist. Like, all these crazy super moves, but they're not like a canon super move in the context of the universe. So Miles has his Mega Venom Blast. Peter's going to have the Iron Spider arms and the red suit. But for the black suit, yeah, we need a rage mode. It was in Spider-Man 3. It was in Shattered Dimensions. It wasn't in Web of Shadows, which I find crazy, but Black Suit Spider-Man was already angry enough as it was. And the combat showed that both on the wall and in the air and on the ground. So if this is fully ground combat, which I think it is, I don't think we're going to get wall combat, unfortunately. We need a rage mode. But I would love it if we could see him throw cars. Because he should be, if he's already a strong... Think about this. Red Suit Spider-Man, in the first game, Advanced Suit Spider-Man, Spider-Man PS4, he was already strong enough to hold up a crane. He was strong enough to hold up a crane, and he did the thing with the rubble from the comics where he lifted up the rubble from his, you know, trying to save those civilians in Fisk Tower. So he did all that in the red suit. And he also fought off against the Sinister Six in you know, double battles with Scorpion and Rhino and Electro and Vulture and Mr. Negative by himself and Doc Ock by himself and Shocker by himself and all these characters. And he stopped the train from crashing with the Mr. Negative train fight, and he can lift a car. He can already lift a car by himself in the red suit. So if that's all what's going on in the red suit, I can't even fathom how strong he's going to be in the black suit. He's going to, like, what is he going to do? Is he going to pick up, like, a building or something and throw it on someone? Like, I have no clue. And, man, I am just, I can't even express how excited I am to see that. Like, Insomniac asked on Twitter recently, this was like a few days ago, like, how excited are you for like, what aspect of Marvel's Spider-Man 2 are you excited for the most? And they said, like, is it the web wings? Is it the black suit? Is it Miles? Is it Peter or something like that? And, like, everyone, like, was saying, like, in the comments, like, can everything be an option? Like, but then, like, if you look on the voting tab, like, which thing won the most, of course it's the black suit. And I honestly, even though I said I'm looking forward to everything, I would honestly say the thing I'm looking forward to the most is the black suit. No questions asked. Like, again, the last time we were able to play as Black Suit Spider-Man was in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions in 2010. That was 13 years ago. And with that, we also got, like, of course, the black suit as, like, a cosmetic in other games. But the last time, like, with the symbiote powers, with, like, the black suit tendrils and everything, man, I mean, the whole thing with going on about the symbiote impacting Peter's personality, the relationship that he has with others, all that stuff, I think that is going to be the biggest takeaway of the game narratively, but also the black suit is genuinely, alongside of Venom, I think is going to be the biggest standout thing of the entire experience. And I cannot wait to see that whole narrative play out. Genki, you're messing up, buddy. But yeah, I mean, I am so stoked. I can't even express. Another donation, but again, Flex, thank you so much for the $100 donation. I can't thank you enough. That's too kind of you. $10 donation from my boy, Carlos de Alvarado. What is up, dude? Congrats on 100K, Evan. The first video I watched of yours was where you break down the web swinging from the E3 2017 gameplay demo. Also, I think Otto will have a redemption down the line. Thank you. I know exactly which video you're talking about. That was like one of my first big, fully edited videos. And I still, at the time, had no clue what I was doing when it came to editing because I was still learning about video recording and editing and everything. And it took me a while to finally get that honed in. Even like now, it's been 7 years since I fully started YouTube. And even then, I didn't start doing YouTube until, like with editing and the computer and everything, until I bought my equipment in 2017. So for a full year, I only did videos exclusively with recording via my iPhone. I didn't have like a laptop or a microphone or editing software or anything until I researched about that and found out what would work best for me and my channel and my content. And it worked out amazingly well, and I can't thank enough to one of my fellow amazing Spidey Squad members, Spidey Fan for the Win, for actually recommending me and suggesting me Sony Vegas Pro, which in case you guys don't know, that's the editing software I use, is Sony Vegas Pro, and the microphone I use is a Blue Snowball microphone. I'm not using that now for this, for the stream, but the videos I record with, I always use a Blue Snowball microphone. And yeah, it took a long time. It took a very long time for me to figure out finally what editing software I had to use and all that, but it paid off. And no, Ghosty, sorry, Ghosty, and Blasty, I apologize if I'm ignoring you. I'm just trying to get through all the incredible super chats first.
Thanks for inviting me, Miss Morales.
But I apologize.
We missed you. Well,
but you're both my boys. I apologize. LAL_LittleXD, thank you for the $5 donation. Hey, congrats on 100K subscribers, man. Well deserved. Evan, do you think we'll be able to switch between the black suit and red suit instantly? I mean, I did a video about this recently, where it looks like that we're going to get like a Web of Shadows style switching mechanic between the red suit and the black suit. But someone pointed out, and I saw it too, but I didn't want to talk about it because there's always the chance that again, like Insomniac said, the game is not the final product. The HUD could always change. The HUD of the health bar and the web shooter meter and the minimap and the design of that with the two new power wheels in the left-hand and right-hand bottom corners, that could change. That's just subject to change. But what someone pointed out, and I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, is in the gameplay demo, when you play as Black Suit Spider-Man, on the top left corner, you see the health bar, and there's this really small Advanced Suit Spider-Man symbol underneath the health bar. And it has zero to no purpose of being there, other than the fact that might be an indicator that is an icon symbolizing that you can, in fact, switch between red suit and black suit Spider-Man whenever you feel like at the press of a button. Because we know that we can switch between Peter and Miles whenever we want in the open world, but we will be able to forcefully switch between them during certain points of the story. But in terms of the cosmetics, for Peter, I definitely think, like, well, it sounds like he's going to wear the black suit throughout the majority of the game. But is he going to be wearing that the whole time? Or are there options where you can choose, like, I want to be in the red suit for a little bit and then go back to the black suit? What is that going to be like? And it depends on what they do in terms of the narrative, but also what the player wants for gameplay. That's the big thing, is finding that balance between gameplay satisfaction and narrative cohesion. So there's a lot of depth to go on there, but I definitely think they're going to handle it in a great way. So thank you for the donation and the question, Lol Little XD. Thank you very much. JP, my boy JP, congrats on 100K. How come you didn't have a party with me? Because I said Infamous is better than mid-type? Sorry, Prototype, congrats again, though. Well, I think you just answered your own question, JP. No, I'm kidding. No. But, man, yeah, that's another series of games I love, is the Prototype series. And I've said, like, JP has been on, which, by the way, go follow JP. He's the best. And Blasty and Ghosty and everyone in the Spidey Squad. But, he, has been in streams in the past, and we always get in this argument, like, which is better? Oh, wait, here's the line about Peter. This is what I was waiting for.
Peter Parker. A friend Miles knows from volunteering at Feast.
Yes, he does.
A friend who is 24.
Oh.
24. Old.
Dang. That's harsh.
No, Peter isn't coming.
Oh.
Miles said he's in Europe with his girlfriend for a few weeks.
European vacation. Definitely old.
How dare you? The disrespect that this man Genki has. By the way, speaking of Genki, if you saw Across the Spider-Verse, slight spoilers, very slight spoilers, Genki is 100% playing Spider-Man 2 on the PS5 in Across the Spider-Verse, because there's footage that you see of Genki talking to Miles where he's switching in and out between his Spider-Man suit, but he's also playing like a Spider-Man game on the TV. And people are like, is that Spider-Man PS4? Because it looked the same. But no, because if you see the HUD, the mini-map on the bottom right is the exact same as what it looked like in the gameplay demo. And Peter's using the Iron Spider arms in combat like what he was doing in the reveal trailer. So Genki officially has early access to Marvel Spider-Man 2 confirmed. We got to travel across the multiverse right now because Genki is playing the final build of the game, and we got to play it ASAP. So we got to figure out how to travel across dimensions as soon as possible. So it's time. But no, JP. Yeah, I mean, Prototype's amazing. Prototype 1's like my favorite game in the Prototype series. I love Infamous 1. These are hot takes coming from me because I love the Prototype series. I love Prototype 1 more than any of the Infamous games, and even more so, Infamous 1 is my favorite Infamous game, not even Infamous 2. I really like Second Son and First Light, but I understand why some people didn't like it, but visually, you can't deny that visually Second Son is a masterpiece. Graphically, that game looks incredible, even still on the PS4. No, Prototype 1 is iconic. Prototype 1 is flat out iconic in my eyes. And I really hope that stuff like this, by the way, happens in Spider-Man 2, where we get Miles or Peter walking and crawling around outside their Spider-Man suits. We kind of got that a little bit in Spider-Man PS4, where Peter's going through Martin Lee's little hideout thing, like his lair in the Fee Shelter, where he's doing some Spider-Man stuff outside the suit, but do that like outside in the city streets. And even in the Silver Lining DLC, where you're going after Silver Sable, which is awesome. But again, up the ante, which Insomniac have already said they're going to do. You're going to up the ante fully when it comes to Peter and Miles' Spider-Man-ness in the game. And I'm sorry I'm missing everyone's super chats. $1, another $1, and $5. So $7 total donations from Blasty Games. I'm sorry, but thank you so much for the donations, dude. Ghosty, let Ghosty join the stream so he can read the chat for you, Evan. Yes, sorry. Blasty, you can join too if you want. Let's see. Well, Ghosty, if you can make a party and send me an invite, that would be best, because that way I'll be able to quickly enter the party and join you if you set that up for me. So, thank you, Blasty, and I'm sorry, Ghosty, for not responding sooner. See? Oh, man. Flex, you don't have to do this, but thank you so much. Another $100 donation from Flex. Thank you so much, dude. Again, I'm telling you, I appreciate you, dude. You're amazing, but save your money. You want to get that collector's edition because you know they'll have one for Marvel Spider-Man 2, but I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Hope Insomniac do something similar to Spectacular Spider-Man, where the black suit takes over Spidey's body while he's sleeping. That would be amazing. That would be incredible. I would love to see that, especially when it comes to seeing all the different forms of the narrative that could take place. And that would also be a huge thing for, like, even in reference to, like, Sam Raimi style, like in the Spider-Man 3, and even the 90s cartoon where the symbiote goes on to Peter, and he has that nightmare of the black suit and the red suit fighting one another, and then he wakes up in the black suit. So that's happened, like, 3 separate times, and, man, like, I would love to see it, because Brian Intar specifically teased that, which I did a video on, watch the latest 101 video in case any of you missed it, but Brian Intar specifically teased that the black suit is going to, like, when Peter gets the black suit for the very first time, when he's attached to it, when he gets bonded with it, it's going to be very, very serious. It's not going to be played off for laughs. It's not going to be a joke. It's not going to be some, like, oh, he gets it and that's it, but it's going to be like some, like, it sounds like it's going to be some, like, super life-altering thing when Peter gets that suit. And yeah, like, if it takes him over and takes him for a joyride, and if we have to, like, fight Miles, for example, as symbiote Spider-Man, and he's asleep the whole time and he doesn't know what he's doing, as an example, that would be crazy. That would be a huge twist. But yeah, like, I'm sure, like, given how much references they put into both of the previous Spider-Man games. Like, they did the train scene reference, they did the Homecoming Bridge reference, they did the Rubble reference, they did the half and half Miles Peter face mask reference with the CGI trailer for Miles' game and the very end of Spider-Man PS4 with the anti-ox suit. So they love putting in these little references and teases to other Spider-Man media from comics, shows, and movies. So if they do that, and clearly, like, again, the black suit narrative where the black suit makes Spider-Man, like, evil and it makes him, like, a bad person, that wasn't originally from the comics. That was from the 90s show. The 90s show is actually the Spider-Man media that popularized the notion that the black suit alters Peter's personality. And ever since then, that's become the main, association with that costume. Before, he just kind of became, like, he realized it was an alien substance that he got from Battleworld, but he never really, like,
It's winter break.
became, like, aggrandized and aggressive with, connecting and bonding with the relativeness of the symbiote soup's nature. He just kind of had it and it was there. But the 90s show was really what started with the evil Peter Parker narrative arc with the black suit. And then, of course, it was popularized even further with Spider-Man 3 and then Spectacular Spider-Man. But that's kind of what, and even Ultimate Spider-Man, of course, the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, and the Ultimate Spider-Man game, which is one of my favorite personal Black Suit Spider-Man stories ever, is the Black Suit Spider-Man story from the Ultimate Spider-Man game and comics. But here, like, Brian, even, 5 years ago, from 2018, where Brian Intar was interviewing Kind of Funny Games and Greg Miller talking about the Black Suit, he's like, this suit is so important to the story of Spider-Man that we didn't want to just put it into the narrative of, like, an alternate suit. Like, oh, it's an alternate suit in Spider-Man PS4, and that's it, and that's fun. No, they wanted to include the black suit in Spider-Man 2 to really give that costume and that story with Peter its own dedicated story. So they're going all out, and I could not be more hyped. And yes, Ghosty, you're finally here. I'm sorry for not answering you for so long, but yes.
It's okay. It's fine.
I didn't even know I was, like I said earlier in the stream, I didn't even know if I was going to do this stream because I have, my life is always a grind because I got summer classes going on
Yes.
Monday, and today's Saturday, and Sunday is, like, another free day for me, but I'm still preparing my class, which I'm not looking forward to.
Yeah. So hello there, everyone. It's your friend Ghosty on this stream with my good friend Evan, of course. So first off, I want to say to Evan, congrats on 100K subscribers.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Like you have no idea how proud I am of you that you finally got to reach this goal and, like, this journey that you basically spent 7 years on YouTube. Like,
it is crazy.
Like it's like, because I can't believe that the man that started YouTube recording videos from his phone about Spider-Man PS4 is now now he's like basically like at the highest of the mountain. Like he's at the
it's all thanks to all you. That's what matters most.
Yes, and so I want to say that if it wasn't for him, for Evan, and if it wasn't for the Spy Squad, I don't think I would even know about the existence of these games without Evan and him.
Oh, that's not true. You know for a fact that that's not true, but thank you for the sentiment regardless.
Nah, bro. Like, nah, for real. Like, I actually because Evan, in a way, because I told him on Twitter yesterday, that I tell him that how much of he inspired me, not just as a person, but as a content creator here on YouTube in general, and that if it wasn't for the kindness and the honesty of Evan, that it's because of him that I was able to keep up with the updates and news about Spider-Man PS4 and from Insomniac Games in general.
Well, thank you, Ghosty. That means a lot. Well, we're lucky to have you, buddy. That's all that matters.
Yes, and like and that's the thing, and yeah, because I've been following Evan pretty much ever since the start. Like ever since he started making videos, so you can say that I'm like one of the early OG followers of of Evan.
Yes.
So yeah, I've seen Evan. He went from being a guy that was in college recording videos from his phone to now actually making proper videos with proper editing, and he actually got to meet a lot of the people working on these fantastic games, Marvel Games, Insomniac Games, and all these amazing and talented people. And so yeah, so congrats, Devin, on the 100K subs.
Well,
I
thank
could
you,
have been
buddy.
any more proud of you than I'm already am.
Honored. Thank you very, very much, buddy. Well, I'm, again, just lucky to be able to go on this journey with you and all you watching, and just, yeah, that passion that Insomniac has clearly for the community is unfathomable, and it is genuinely just a pure blessing that not only do they acknowledge the fans in such an amazing way, but also just seeing how much they care about the character of Spider-Man in general, that we're even able to have these experiences in the first place that I can talk about on the channel. So it's huge, and again, it's all thanks to you, everybody. So thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you. And that's why, as I said on the community blog post today that I made, on the community tab, I mean, and I teased on Twitter a little bit, I think. If I didn't, I might have just been so busy with writing that whole thread I posted last night about reaching 100,000
Oh, yeah.
subscribers. That took me, I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter, that's the only other social media platform I'm on besides YouTube, because I don't have Instagram, I don't have Snapchat, I don't have whatever, TikTok, yeah, Snapcash, whatever terrible app that social media has, because social media just, it is not the place you should be on all the time. But besides that, what I was trying to say is that I wrote a whole thread on Twitter the other day, like thanking everybody who helped me on the journey to get to 100,000 subscribers. That took me like 3 hours to write.
Oh my God, real?
Yes, because I want to thank each and every individual person that helped along the way, and the Spidey Squad, and find the pictures, and tagging people, and sharing my thoughts. I poured my heart onto that post, so it took me 3 hours to write that thing entirely. But what I was trying to say this whole time is definitely stay tuned, stay subscribed, but mainly follow me on Twitter, because I think that's the easiest way to get in contact with me instead of just on YouTube comments, is actually on Twitter instead, because I will be doing a giveaway because you know they'll have one. Like, I don't know anyone, but they didn't confirm it yet. I don't know why you're expecting they won't, because you know for a fact they will. Whenever they announce the collector's edition for Spider-Man 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, I will do a giveaway for a collector's edition of Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Oh my God. Well,
so
I mean,
definitely stay tuned on Twitter for any, the giveaway details, and whenever they announce the edition or whatever, I'll not only do a one-on-one video, obviously, breaking down all the merch and stuff that they'll have about the game, but also how you can get in contact with me, and what the best way is to reach me online when it comes to talking about the news and any announcements that might happen. Like, oh, there's a standard edition, there's a deluxe edition, and then there's a collector's edition. All that stuff. So, but whatever the most expensive edition of the game is, I'll do a giveaway of it online.
and then imagine if they actually
Which is where,
announce,
thanks to amazing people like Flex who just donated $100, I'm giving it all back to you. So that money is going to $200. I mean, thank you so much, Flex. I genuinely appreciate it. And you're the best. But that's what I'm saying. Save your money for the collector's edition, because you know they have one. But if you don't, that's okay, because I'm going to just give it back to you guys through a giveaway that we can share and get hype with in the Spidey Squad community. So again, that's all in service of the hype, and all in thanks to Spider-Man. So that's what it's all about, baby. So
and then imagine if they announce all the editions and only for them to reveal that, oh, there's no collector's edition for this game.
I'm telling you, not only would I go ballistic, but also that would be the biggest L I think that Sony and Insomniac would take if they were not to capitalize on three things. They're not going to capitalize on Black Suit Spider-Man, one Black Suit Spider-Man, 2 Venom, and 3 that this is the first ever next-gen Spider-Man game. Because Miles doesn't count. Miles is a cross-gen game.
It's like cross-gen, yes.
Yeah, this is the fully next-gen exclusive Spider-Man game. And I even played, like I've said this, but I played Miles Morales first on my PS4 Pro, and then I played it on on a PS5 because I wasn't able to get a PS5 at launch like most people were, so I didn't get one either. So when I played Miles, I played on my PS4 Pro. I'm like, oh man, am I going to get like a downgraded version of the game or something? And no, actually, the game actually ran and looked really good on PS4. I mean, obviously it looks better on PS5, but it still looked incredibly good on the PS4.
Not but like, it's like Marvel Spider-Man 2. It's like there's no way in hell that game was gonna be played on PS4. There was no freaking way.
No. With everything they're doing, although like I said earlier, I do think it is odd. I know they're adding a lot of stuff. I know they're adding a lot of gameplay mechanics, and the switching is very, very important. Like, people are like, well, they already did the character switching in GTA 5. They already did the character switching in, like, Ratchet and Clank Ripped Apart. Oh, you mean, like, in the span of 2 seconds, you're able to switch between the characters in an open world that's as detailed as what they're making New York look like? You mean that? No, they haven't.
Because in GTA 5, I mean, yeah, you can switch between characters, but there was like a loading screen.
There was a big loading screen that took a long time to switch between character to character. Although I don't know, because now didn't they release it again on PS5? So I don't know how.
Yes, they did. They actually did.
How long the switching time takes for that now on the PS5 versus PS3 when it first came out? Because it first came out on the PS3, and they kept like literally. Rockstar is so loaded with cash, all they have to do is keep making GTA 5 again. They don't have to release GTA 6 or Red Dead 2. They're just like, here's more, here's like a PS5 Pro re-release of GTA 5.
GTA 5.
And that's all we need to do.
Bro, the fact that they did an HD version of GTA 5 but not Red Dead Redemption 2 is honestly kind of unfortunate that they because it's like, oh, we're only going to care about GTA and nothing else. It's like, really, Rockstar?
Yes.
Not even like a remake or a sequel to Bully or something? Like,
I would literally give my left nut if I could get Bully 2. I would do anything for Bully 2. I'm not kidding. I love Bully is like up there with the upper echelon of like some of my favorite games of all time. I think it's Bully, Prototype, Spider-Man PS4,
Persona 5.
Persona 5 Royal, mind you.
The Royal.
Put respect on Royal, on my girl Kasumi's name, Royal. Man, I mean, just so much. There's too much to talk about. But Bully, my God. I mean, I love GTA 4. A lot of people are like, GTA 5 is the best GTA. I'm like, did you play GTA 4? Because that's the best GTA. But man, what's it called? Bully is a masterpiece, and I'm so mad that they have not done a sequel. And like, there's always all these rumors, like, oh, we're gonna get Bully 2. Bully 2 is in development. Oh, Bully 2 was canceled in development because they're working on GTA 6. Blah blah blah. I'm like, God, I just want a modern day Bully, because if you played Bully, that was in like early 2000s when that game was made, with no cell phones, no social media, no like internet really, like on the big scale we have now. I want like modern day Bully so badly, you have no idea.
For me?
Yeah, yes. Well, for me, it's like the first Rockstar game that I played. I believe it was actually funny enough, Grand Theft Auto 4 actually, when I got to play on the
Me too.
Yeah, on the it was on the Xbox 360 when I played it for the
first time. I got on PS3.
Yeah, because the reason why I played it on Xbox and on PS3 is because at the time, the Xbox 360 was actually cheaper than the PS3 at the time. Because remember that Grand Theft Auto 4 was one of the first open world games that came out on the PS3 when the PS3 was still like a new console back in 2000.
Yes. Me, I was an idiot because I was like, I don't know if anyone else fell for this, but like I was really getting hyped for the Wii. I was like, man, the motion controls and all that, and then they also at the time they were really pumping up like a new I think at that time were they also like pumping up like Super Mario Galaxy, and I was a big Mario fan at the time, and also Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam, which was like, I'm a big skateboarding game fan. Like I love the old skate games and Tony Hawk's Project 8. If any of you know out there Tony Hawk's Project 8, you officially have my respect. You are officially a gaming diehard, and I love you for that. So Tony Hawk's Project 8, when that came out on PS3, I'm like, ugh, whatever, because I was more hyped for Downhill Jam. Because I was like, this is going to be the best skateboarding game ever. And it was on the Wii, and I'm like, but then, like, my dad got us a PS3. I'm like, wow, cool. But I'm like, I secretly wanted the Wii instead. Because I thought that was going to be better than the PS3. But when I got the PS3, and then, you know, and then they released the Spider-Man 3 movie tie-in game, I'm like, okay, never mind. This is amazing. And Web of Shadows a year after that. I'm like, that was. Of course. And you know, like the old school PS3 is the superior version because they had backwards compatibility. Yes.
Yeah.
Which is so annoying that they never brought that back for. Even now with the PS5, yes, fine, it's cool that you can play PS4 games. I don't care. Give me the PS2, PS3 compatibility. I still have my PS4. I can pop that in whenever. We need the PS4, PS3, PS2 backwards compatibility right now. That's what's needed in the community.
Imagine if they do like a PS5 Pro or something. Hopefully they add.
That's what I'm saying, dude. If they, I know like a lot of people might have seen my previous 101 video and also like some article online. Like the release date might be happening on September 8th, which we don't know for sure, but it could be because Tony Todd previously teased a September release date, so who knows? But you know, like if they do like a PlayStation 5 bundle for that, I would want them to eventually at some point, later on do like, oh, here's a Spider-Man 2 PS5 Pro bundle with a Venom themed case. Or, you know, a skin for the PS5. Like, we all need that.
Well, I mean, the thing about that is that, I mean, if they do a bundle for Spider-Man 2, I will not be surprised at all, because they did for God of War and Horizon.
Yeah, for God of War. Well, they did the bundles, but they didn't do, like, a themed console, which I find weird. I don't know why they haven't done that. Is it because it's hard to make or something? Or the shape? Because I've said this, and I still remain true to this. I am not a fan of the PS5's design. I've never been a fan of this weird alien router-looking shape.
Futuristic.
Because it looks like it's always supposed to go on it vertical. I know you can do it horizontal, but I never do. And anyone who does do that, they're lying.
It looks really odd horizontally.
It looks very odd horizontally, but because it looks like it's not supposed to do that. But you can apparently. But I always do it vertically because it looks like it's a vertically shaped platform. But the PS4 works so good because it can work vertical or horizontal. PS4 or PS4 Pro. But yeah, the PS5's design and the vents. I know it's a big thing, and you have to get all the vents to work, but to run the games, but. Man, cleaning out those things is a freaking pain.
Yeah, there's no wonder why there's like a third party like freaking.
There's like three different vents on the one, like the interior of the PS5. There's like a cooling system, right? There's like another vent that runs the disk drive or something, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
And I get it. You know, I'm not a game designer. I don't know what goes into making these things, but man, if you do a PS5 Pro and it somehow is bigger than the PS5, then man, just at least get rid of the vents or something. I don't know, like you got polish that thing a little bit.
You're gonna spend more time cleaning the console than actually playing the games on the console.
Yes, exactly. The cleaning the console is the game. That's the bonus.
It's the game.
That's the bonus bundle. But I'm sorry if I missed another super chat. 2K Flash God, which Ghosty was going to help me with, but it's okay. Anyway.
Sorry.
But sorry, Flex, again, thank you so much for the $200 donation, buddy. That's so kind of you. Miss Sean Williams. Yo, Evan, congrats on 100K, bro. Love your content. Keep doing your thing. Also, Marvel Spider-Man 2 looks good, but I wasn't seeing the photorealism they mentioned. Do you think maybe we were lied to this whole time? Well, what I find weird, and I do agree with you, Michonne, is because people are like, oh, you can't compare the gameplay with the CG trailer that we saw in 2021. Newsflash, that wasn't CG. It was confirmed. In-game. Yeah, it was confirmed by the senior VFX artist at Insomniac Games herself, Brianna Lindsay, and I made a video about this all the way back in 2021. Where she went on Twitter, she said this directly, she compared the CG Miles Morales trailer to the footage, the reveal trailer for Marvel Spider-Man 2, where they're in the alley and they're fighting in the dark, all that. That wasn't CG. That was in-engine, real-time PlayStation 5 footage, just like what they also say in the Kraven cinematic, where if you watch on the PlayStation YouTube channel, there's like the subtext, like in-engine PS5 footage. This is not CG. It's not like a pre-rendered thing. That's the game, supposedly.
And it looks amazing. Like,
and it looks incredible.
Like, have you seen like the freaking like detail on like Kraven's face and all that? Like,
yes.
Oh my god.
His fur coat and his beard, like all the little individual hairs on that is like, amazing. The environment on, like, even on the fake Kraven that we all thought like was Kraven at first, and then they show the real Kraven behind it. But the guy with the the shaved head and the little head tattoos and all that, like, even that looked great on that too. So
yes.
All that looked insane, but I do have a similar question, like how detailed is Insomniac going to go with the visuals of the PS5, since this is not the final build, but despite that, how good is the final product going to look in terms of the PS5 visuals with the symbiote, with Venom, with the city? The city, I think, mainly is what blew me, because if you saw my reaction video, I was like, you're no way that this is gameplay footage, because
yeah, I remember
when I saw the city, I'm like, do you see how like textured and detailed the buildings look just right off the bat? The first second you saw like that helicopter fly over.
Yeah, and like what's crazy about it is that in the YouTube video when they released that, it says on the bottom in-game footage.
In-game footage, but yeah, of course, because then they show gameplay right after that. But yeah, like what is gonna be like the visual scope and scale? Like what Mashan's saying is like, what's gonna be the depth that we can go with the PS5 versus the cross-gen nature of like Miles? Because again, like Miles, right now, this is a PS5 game, but it was held back from also being a PS4 game. And while the visuals on Miles look better than Spider-Man PS4 in the remaster, it is not a full-on exclusive. So Mashan's right, and it definitely justified in saying, like, what's the true capabilities going to be of the PS5's nature with the exclusivity and the depth of the next-gen hardware and all that? How is that going to factor into Spider-Man 2 versus like what we're seeing now? And I definitely agree. And I need to see that in like the cutscenes and the facial animations of the characters, all that. Carlos de Alvarado, again, another $10 donation. Thank you so much. What if Peter gets the black suit but keeps it a secret? That may be why he's so angry in the gameplay demo. Miles says new threads, and the chance of a Web of Shadow suit switch feature could be in the game. Man, I mean, it's very, so that demo, like what you said, yeah, because Miles says, whoa, man, new threads. So Peter might have gotten the symbiote already earlier on in the game, and this just, or they could, this could easily be like a trick that Insomniac could do for the gameplay or whatever. Or if it is real, like, because they did that like with the gameplay demo for Miles, where they didn't show that it was Finn who was the Tinkerer. They kept that a secret, and also the 2017 gameplay demo for Spider-Man PS4, where Mr. Negative wasn't the one in the helicopter; it was just another demon. So they could do all, they could do the same thing, the same bait and switch here, or whatever, and just make it seem like that was the first time Peter got the black suit or whatever, or the first time Miles saw the black suit. But yeah, like, if we do take that into actual consideration and nothing's changed, then yeah, like, what's it going to be when it comes to Miles seeing Peter like that? But it's his first time seeing him wear that, but it's not Peter's first time wearing the symbiote. What are they going to do when it comes to giving that more depth to the story, and how that lingering effect alters Peter's personality? Clearly, he knows it's an alien, I would think, right off the bat. Like, he's using the symbiote tendrils and everything to take out the enemies. So it's not like, oh yeah, this is just me being strong. Like, no, he knows this thing isn't normal, and he knows it's giving him extra powers. So when he sees that, it would be interesting, like what Brian said in the PlayStation blog, and the articles, the Eurogamer articles, like, what's the overall, like, scope of him going to be with impacting those closest to him, but also how the symbiote's going to first get onto him? Where is that? Because again, how does the symbiote go from Harry to Peter? That's the big question. So does he see Harry in the tank? In Norman's penthouse? Did they move Harry? Because Norman at the end of Miles, he's like, get him out now. So is he out of the tank by the beginning of Spider-Man 2, or is he still in the tank? Did they move the tank to Kurt Connor's house in Queens or something? Because that's where Peter could get the suit from? I have no clue. So yeah, that's very intriguing to see how they're going to handle that narrative element for the first time anytime Peter gets the black suit, it's like always this huge revelation, like, wow. So in the 90s show, he got it from trying to save John Jameson from the space shuttle, and he got it on his suit, and then it took him for a joyride, and then he woke up with the suit on. Spectacular, he tried to stop Black Cat breaking into Dr. Connor's lab, thinking that she took it, but he's like, how'd she get away so fast with the suit? It's gone. But then he actually got it on by accident, and then he just seamlessly, got onto him with, him figuring it out later, where he was wearing the black suit. He was like, what the heck is this? Like, oh, the suit's on me now. So that was like a more nonchalant way of getting it, but it was still really cool how they showed him turning into the black suit Spider-Man in that episode. And then, of course, Spider-Man 3, they just kind of redid the Spider-Man, the 90s cartoon style, but in Raimi version. We're not going to talk about the Disney XD show. We're just gonna skip past that. But the black suit also in the Ultimate Comics, that's the other one, is the Ultimate Comics style, where he's like, it's a huge thing for Peter's past with his father, because it's like, oh, this is supposed to be the cure for cancer, and it uses your dad's DNA. So it's like, well, they stole it from my dad and Eddie's dad, so I'm going to take it back. And then he gets it, and then he just, he almost, dies, it almost looks like, oh my god, the symbiote's taking me over, and then he emerges from this black rubble in the black suit, and then, of course, he becomes Venom for a brief moment, and then he tries to kill this guy who doesn't at all look like Uncle Ben's killer from the flashbacks he has, but he tries to kill him anyway, because he just is so full of rage, and all that, and it's sick. So there's so much possibilities. And again, I've said this in my videos, this genuinely has the chance to be the best Black Suit Spider-Man storyline we've ever seen. So with what they do with when they get the suit, I need them to fire off on all cylinders. Even the one shot already gives me so much faith in them, is the shot where Peter crashes through the ceiling and he has the symbiote tendrils popping off of his body. And he looks like a nightmare. He looks like a horror image monster movie type flick where all the tendrils are popping out of his back. He's completely encompassed in darkness. Miles is freaking out, Peter, are you okay? What's going on? And he just goes right back to it, did you find Connors? It's like, dude, whoa. That's huge. In my opinion, that's a huge shift for Peter. And of course, as Genki and Miles bring up later, he's not normally like that, right? No, he's not. So it's God, what are they gonna do? What more emotional and mental damage could they put this man through? He already lost Aunt May. He lost his mentor, Dr. Octopus. He got cucked by Black Cat, thinking that he had a son when he doesn't. He's back with MJ, but in the prequel comic, they're kind of, they're still kind of having some relationship issues a little bit. Because she's focusing on her career to the Daily Bugle, and Peter's like, well, okay. So he's gonna probably get a bit more aggressive when he says why are you not moving in with me? When he has the black suit, all that, that's gonna be amazing, and that whole falling out's gonna be sweet. All that.
My worst fear is that maybe Peter Parker with the symbiote might potentially be responsible for killing Miles' mother in the game.
That's what I'm saying, and everyone's like, why? Either I post that on Twitter, and people are either what are you talking about, or there's no way they would do that. And I'm like, I just said, did you forget that they killed off Aunt May? And there was a suicide bombing scene in Spider-Man PS4? How much darker could they get? They could go a whole lot darker, I'll tell you what, because they can do, any type of narrative now with the black suit entering the mix. And yeah, Peter could become Venom, and yeah, he might not, obviously he likes Rio and Miles, so he's not going to willingly kill them, but the symbiote might say, screw that, I gotta find your son. He's, the Venom powers, besides fire and sound, are the two main weaknesses of the black suit. Miles' Venom powers in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, where Miles fights Venom, that's also a big weakness of Venom as well. Which is why I don't understand why people are well, they're not going to take from the Ultimate Comic storyline because they're going to do their own thing. It's like they're already taking so much from the Ultimate Comic storyline.
So much inspiration,
and the first time we see Miles interact with Venom at all, like in actual comic canon, not just in the Ultimate Universe, but any comic at all. The very first time Miles interacts with Venom, his mom dies. So, and it's not through Venom specifically. It's like, well, it's through a cop who tries to shoot at Venom, and a stray bullet hits Rio, but Venom probably would have killed her anyway. So it's mainly whenever Venom's involved, Rio is going to get hurt somehow. And again, we don't know if that's going to be Peter, we don't know if that's going to be Eddie, we don't know if that's going to be Harry. But if it is Peter, it might not be like, I'm going to kill you, Rio, because I hate you. It's going to be like, I need to, like, he might be trying to look for Miles or something. He might be trying to looking for where Miles is. Like, I need to tell your son something. Like, he's going to get in my way. I need to stop him before he can stop me from going after Kraven or whatever. And, like, I'm trying to save my best friend, Harry, but your son's getting in the way. And they know that she knows he's Spider-Man. She knows that Miles is Spider-Man. But as Genki says in the trailer, like, hey, Mr. Parker, Mr. Spider-Man, sir, so he knows that Peter is Spider-Man. So I think Rio also knows that Peter is Spider-Man too. And if that's the case, Peter could very well, like, go over to Miles' house to see where he lives. And he's like, I need to find your son. And he's like, don't get in my way. And then he could become Venom or something and, like, not kill her intentionally, but, like, maybe injure her at the very least. And do something wild to just, like, make Miles, like, go off the, like, deep end. Like, you hurt my mom. How could you do that? Who are you, Peter? What happened to you? Like we got to get that suit off you. So, and that's how they fight. So, because how else are they going to fight? Are they going to fight just because the story requires them to? No, there has to be like a catalyst or something that makes them want to fight in the first place. It's
there
like
has to be a conflict.
Whether there's tension between the two of them, whether they have a conflict of interest, whether they have like, I'm trying to go after Kraven, Miles, but you're stopping me, or you are hurting the symbiote, so I can't work with you anymore. You're actually in my way. I got to get rid of you now, or like you're against me, or something. I don't know, like some crazy thing is going to set them off, and it's going to be, without a doubt, the best part of the whole game, and I can't wait. Another $10 donation, 2K Flash God. Would be really cool if each suit had their own black suit variant and extra black suits as well. Couldn't agree more, buddy. I did a whole video about that recently, where not only was it teased in the footage that we saw with the symbiote looking very odd, but also that there is definitely going to be, like, suits for Red Suit Spider-Man, Miles, and of course, you already know the black suit's going to get like a ton of alternate suits. Please, though, I think we can all agree, just please don't attack Insomniac if they don't end up adding the Raimi suit, the Raimi black suit, because, my God, we don't need that to happen again. No. But at this point, whether it's a DLC suit or like a free DLC costume again, like what we saw the first time, when they added it as like a Christmas surprise for Spider-Man PS4, the Raimi suit. I'm sure they'll do it again for Spider-Man 2, but whether it's in the base game or a DLC suit or a free update, just go easy on them. And you already know for a fact how amazing they are. They're not gonna make it like a microtransaction thing. They're gonna be free additional costumes because that's just how amazing Insomniac is.
Like Insomniac, they care about their fans. They do.
Yes.
It's just that the fans they tend to be a little, not all of them, but some of them can tend to be a little too aggressive.
No, they're too. I get because they're too passionate. I understand being passionate. I understand wanting something in a game and how long we have to wait for these things and how much excitement surrounds them. But if they don't do it, that's not a reason to be like, you suck, Insomniac. You're the worst person on the universe. Like, no, there's so much better things to waste your time on. But that's why we can only hope and just keep our fingers crossed that it'll happen. But we shall see.
We still meeting today?
Yeah, Spidey Outcast, our boy Spidey Outcast
Our boy
in the
Andrew.
chat. He says, hey boys, wish I can join at the moment, but unfortunately I can't right now. Hope you guys have a good day. Also, congrats on the subs, Evan.
Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate it, buddy. We'll definitely hang out soon, I promise.
Yes, and so yeah, I like the idea of the black suit variants of the game. Although that would probably mean that we're probably gonna get a freaking undie suit black suit variant, which
You know
I
what's hilarious?
honestly
People have said in like with comic panels, because that, you know, in the, I think it happens right after Peter is free of being Superior Spider-Man. Like, he breaks free of being
Yeah.
Superior Spider-Man, and he's
Yeah.
back to normal Peter Parker. There's a comic panel of
Yeah.
him, like, wrapping himself in, like, webbed undies. But also,
Yeah.
there's another comic where Miles is just wearing, like, swim trunks. And he just
Oh
has
yeah.
a Spider-Man mask with swim trunks. So they could do an undie suit again for Peter with webs, or a black suit undie suit, and Miles just wearing his normal suit with swim trunks. Because who knows?
Oh my. Yeah, my God.
Who knows what madness they'll do this time? But this is what I was saying earlier. Like, Miles, look at him. He's jiving in the street. He's dancing. He's talking with people. He's waving. He's being his classy self. He gets to take photos and high five. What the hell is Black Suit Spider-Man going to do? Is he going to, like, bum rush people? Is he going to, like, Ezra Miller them? Is he going to choke slam into the ground or something? Like, oh, you want to fight? Like, he just starts choking them in the streets. Like, is that what? I don't know. I'm worried.
Oh my God, bro! Can you imagine, like,
The Flash style choke slam. Oh, you want to fight, huh? You want to fight? No, I don't, Spider-Man. Stop! I don't want to be fight. I don't want to hit anybody.
Oh my God, that's just funny.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is he gonna do? Like, what if he does? I'm wondering if they'll do either way. I wonder if they'll do, like like an aggressive type of interaction, or if they'll do like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but if they'll do, actually no, because they did happen in the comics, where Ultimate Spider-Man, Black Suit Spider-Man is like a showboat. Like, he's more, what's the word? Like, not like flamboyant, but he's more like expressive towards the crowd. He's like, I know, like, like when he first wears the black suit, he's like saving this pop star, like this Britney Spears wannabe, and he is like, he saves her from this limo, right? And he's like, no, limo, whatever, right? Forget it. Like, he's joking with the criminals, but when he saves her, he's like extra cocky, like more cocky than what he usually was, because he was like he saves her and he's like, just for the record, everyone, we're just friends. He's like, get on the ground, freak, when a cop is pointing a gun at him. He's like, get on the ground now. He's like, oh, come on, dude, I killed this. He's like, I'm telling you, get on the ground, like, put your hands in the air. He's like, oh, you mean like this? And then he swings away. And then even when he's battling Shocker, he's still very cocky and expressive and showboaty and just a dick, you know, like just a pure, like, overconfident jerk. And that's amazing. And like what Insomniac have said, where he is going to be, like, in the black suit of quite a majority, like, almost throughout the whole game, it sounds like. I wonder if they'll do that, and they'll slowly start to show him lose it, or if it'll be, like, he'll start off, like, again, like, he'll start off, like, nice and showboaty, and then he'll get, like, super mean, or just mean right off the bat. I have no clue. Oh, wait, I'm supposed to throw these bats. Whoops.
Yeah, not like, no, and like the other thing that like can we just say like how Insomniac was like had the balls to actually show up like Spider-Man like right from the get-go already wearing the black suit. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't, because you know, and that tells me three things. One, that like what Insomniac have already said, that they have only shown us like the tip of the iceberg, or as Yuri Lowenthal says, the thwip of the Spider-Berg of Spider-Man 2. Two, the black suit's going to be a huge part of the game's story and for Peter's narrative. And three, that tells me that there is so much more depth going on than what we're going to get with Venom.
Yeah, like that, because what I originally thought, and I'm sure everyone else is that I thought they were not going to show the black suit at all in the gameplay demo. Like, I thought they were going to just like maybe like a tease of the black suit by the end of something, but nothing.
Because we all thought, like, oh, the black suit is going to be obviously the big thing that they're going to hide. Because if they already showed Venom in the reveal trailer, then what's to stop them from showing him again in the gameplay demo? Because that would be like, of course he's going to be the big selling point of the game is frickin' Venom. But the black suit, like, that's such a big part for Spider-Man that no, they'll save that for, like, when we play the game for ourselves. Just like how when we played Spider-Man PS4 for the first time, it was a surprise that Doc Ock was the main villain and that you could play as Miles Morales outside of the costume. That was huge because they didn't show Miles being playable at all. They confirmed Peter and MJ were playable, but not Miles. They didn't say anything about Miles. So that was the big twist for the first game. The Tinkerer was the big twist for Miles' game. Like, who's the main villain of Miles Morales? Like, the Prowler was there, but he wasn't the main villain. He was just like a side antagonist. The main villain was that it turned out that the Tinkerer is Miles' best friend, even though, you know, you could probably see that coming right away when you played the game. But when the marketing started, that wasn't known. That was still a secret. So now we have Kraven, Lizard, and Venom all at the forefront of Spider-Man 2. And any one of them could be a main villain, you know? So it's like, is Kraven the actual main villain? Or is he going to be, like, taken care of throughout halfway of the game, and then the final part of the game is Venom? Or is Venom the one that we take out halfway through the game, and then Kraven's the actual final villain? Who, you know, like, God, like, there's so many possibilities running around our heads, and that's what makes it so exciting as fans.
Yeah, and that's actually, like, so that means we have two and three sort of confirmed villains. So it's Kraven, Lizard, and Venom. Although we don't know for certain who's gonna be Venom, because
that's the thing.
Yeah, because so far we know that the last host that had the symbiote before Peter was Harry. But now it's but it seems like Peter somehow he was able to find Harry. Although we don't know if he found it with Dr. Connors.
Yeah, because he never knew. Oh, wait, no, actually, never mind, because MJ probably told him. I was going to say Peter doesn't know where Harry is, but no, MJ must have told him in the first game where she's in the penthouse. Oh, wait, yes. No, actually, wait, I am right, because MJ told Peter that Harry's sick because she heard the audio files and stuff in the penthouse, but she didn't find Harry's little tank in the lab area. She didn't open that.
That's right.
Norman opened that. So actually, I'm right. So neither Peter or MJ know where Harry is, at least for now. But clearly in this game, now they do probably know where he is. So now it makes me wonder, where is Harry? Is he still in the tank in Norman's penthouse, or is he? Did he get moved somewhere? Like, is he now is he in Kurt Connor's house in Queens? Yeah. Like, did they move him there? But he wants him out. So I don't know what's going on. So that's where the interest lies.
And also it's like it seems like the Kraven like the goons from Kraven, it seems like they know about the Lizard because they are at their house. So it's like, does that mean that?
Yeah, because like did Kraven sent him out? Like, did he sniff him out? Like, oh, this is where he's hiding, or do they know that Kurt's the Lizard right off the bat or something? I have no idea. But I don't think, with all that in mind, clearly, like which is why I never report on rumors and leaks, because they are obviously never true. That leak that someone brought up, like, oh, Kraven gets hired by Norman, and that's where he's going after Spider-Man to go after Venom or something. Because clearly he's just going out there for the hunt. He just wants to go out there and be a badass and just like go after the big prey with the Lizard. So he's and Spider-Man, because he sees all the characters on the map, and he's like, oh, I'm not going there because Mr. Osborn told me to go there, but I'm going there because I want a challenge.
I want a challenge. I want an equal that can go against me without sweating, without basically without a freaking scratch. And that's why I think he's going after Lizard. But then once he finds out about Venom, maybe that's like, bro, imagine if you actually get to face Kraven the Hunter as Peter Parker with the black suit or something.
You already know that's gonna happen, and I can't wait for that, because you know for a fact we're gonna get like Tanas Spider-Man vibes. We're gonna get like Spider-Man Tanas versus Kraven vibes, like no stupid comebacks or witty repartee. What happened to the Spider-Man I love? He's like, I'm gonna rip you apart, Kraven. Like, you are dead, sir. Like, I cannot wait.
Yes. A super chat from Rockstar Jackson.
Oh, thank you so much, dude.
He says, I think it's Goblin. Kraven is like Mr. Negative, he says.
Kraven's like Goblin. Wait.
No. He thinks that the main villain of... he said he thinks that the main villain of Spider-Man 2 might be Goblin, and that Kraven the
Oh.
Hunter he might be like Mr. Negative.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like, yeah. In the sense of what they did with the games for the stories.
Yes.
Thank you, Rooster Jackson, again for the £2 donation. Genuinely appreciate. Well, that's what we were saying. Like, if they showed, that's why I'm wondering, because now they've kind of blown their load. Because at the very first reveal trailer, they're like, oh, for Spider-Man PS4, they kept teasing, oh, Mr. Negative's the big bad. And then Miles like, oh, the Tinkerer's the big bad. And even though the Tinkerer was the big bad, the twist was she was Miles' friend. But for Kraven and Venom, like they flat out showed the beginning it's Venom. So it's like, who can you beat more than Venom? Like, there's no way that Green Goblin's going to be a player in this game. Again, I think they're going to set him up for the third game, Marvel Spider-Man 3.
Yes,
he'll be one of the post-credit scenes for the game. You already know.
Oh yeah.
He'll be showing him becoming the Green Goblin. He starts to laugh and chuckle or whatever, and then he becomes the Green Goblin in Marvel Spider-Man 3. That's who we face off against. And if the symbiote is still around by the end of this game, guess who else could be the main villain for? So again, main villains for the previous games. It was Mr. Negative and Doc Ock. Mr. Negative and Doc Ock for the first game. Prowler and Tinkerer for Miles' game. Kraven and Venom now for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Guess who's going to be the big two villains for Marvel Spider-Man 3? You already know. One of them's Green Goblin. We already said. Guess who could? I can't. You already know who the hypest answer is. Guess who the other villain could be for Marvel Spider-Man 3?
Carnage?
Yes. Leon got it. It's either Carnage or Green Goblin. It's both. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be both. Imagine how crazy of a finale that's going to be. Because if Venom is introduced in Marvel Spider-Man 2, symbiote gets on Peter, and Venom becomes whoever he is, Eddie Brock or Harry Osborn or Peter himself, but it's still around, then it could either go on to Cletus Cassidy, of all people, if they want to go that dark, or they could do like the Ultimate Comic style where Carnage is like just a deformed clone of Peter Parker's DNA morphing with the symbiote. So, who knows?
Bro, can you imagine? Like Venom already seems like he's going to be like a big of a threat to Peter and Miles. Imagine them, like the two of them going against someone like Carnage, like bro.
Yes. And like Mohammed Isha just said, thank you so much for the $2 donation, buddy. $2.20 donation. Thank you so much. Eddie might be the surprise. The more I think about it, the more I think that makes sense. Because even though Eddie exists, and like we said earlier, Eddie and Peter sound like they're friends, like they get along and they're co-workers and pals and buddy-buddy, we haven't seen their relationship since, like, that little Easter egg. And even like on the Daily Bugle website from Miles, it's like, oh, here's an article by Mary Jane talking about Harlem and all that, and then here's Eddie Brock with photos. And it's like, that's great, but we haven't seen him at all. So
we haven't seen him at all.
At all. So it's making us wonder, like, what is going to happen to Eddie's character, and are they going to do, like, a classic 616 route, clearly, like, where they're friends, or are they going to add, like, a little bit of ultimate/spectacular spice in there where, like, oh, we're coworkers and friends, but we're also, like, really close friends, like Harry and Peter sound to be. But that's why I think they're doing that already with Harry. So it's like, would they do that again with Eddie? I don't think so. So it's like, what could happen if they're just coworkers and makes Eddie hate Spider-Man? What could do that and eventually make him become the actual Venom?
Unless that they do like the thing from the comics where like Eddie's reporting on a history, like a crime or something, and then Black Suit Spider-Man comes in and basically messed up Eddie Brock's all his lead on the story, and then I guess like Black Suit Spider-Man he
choke slams him Ezra Miller style. I mean,
no, he's like that. He does like the thing from Spider-Man 3. He's like, oh, that black suit looks so hot. Pose for the camera. Give me a little bit of web action. Then he freaking like throws the web. Cam.
Or another hot take. What if he does it like the game, the Spider-Man 3 game, where he hires like a faker to be Red Suit Spider-Man. Yeah. He's all fat and he has the duffel bags of money. He's like, I just need a fake photo of Spider-Man. He's like, so that's Brock's scheme, and then that makes him hate Spider-Man. So I don't know, like, is he going to be like a good guy that turns bad, or is he going to be like I have no clue. Like, that's what's super interesting about this is like they could go the classic route, they could go the ultimate route, they could go a completely different route. Who knows? But I am all here for it.
Yeah. Let's see. Spidey Mike 2023 says, "Hey Evan, have you seen Across the Spider-Verse? It's the best movie ever, especially featuring a quick scene with Mr. You Know Who."
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about, but we won't talk about spoilers in case anyone hasn't seen the movie yet. But yes, there's multiple you know who's in the movie who got me hyped. Like, I wouldn't say it's my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time because that still goes to the first one with Tobey. But damn, I think I might actually like it better than Into the Spider-Verse. And I was even then like people were like Into the Spider-Verse is the greatest Spider-Man movie of all time. That one I was more adamant towards like no, because it was good, but it didn't really do a whole lot in terms of for me. And I actually brought this up in my trailer reaction with my roommate Chris. Shout out to my boy Chris. We were talking about the trailer. It's like the reason why I'm looking forward to this more than Into the Spider-Verse is because now we're actually going to get a Spider-Verse story. You know what I mean? Like there's so many other Spider people now to talk and to bounce off of and seeing. And like it's exactly what we got where they all have their own ideals of what it means to be a hero and what it means to be Spider-Man. And that those idealizations conflict with one another and those mentalities clash. And those ideologies have different meanings for each person. So that's what really brought me to like it a lot more than the first movie. But what's really going to make the make or break for me is that this is like the movie's not done yet. Yeah, exactly. The movie's not done yet because this is even though they say, oh, we got Across the Spider-Verse and now Beyond the Spider-Verse, which is their own movie. This is still undoubtedly a part one to.
Because originally this film was going to be titled Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
Which is why I don't understand why people are like, oh my god, Infinity War is so much better than Endgame, where Endgame was such a letdown. Like, Endgame was phenomenal in my opinion. But it's like, how could you dislike Endgame when you like Infinity War? Because the main reason why Endgame even worked in the first place is because Infinity War set everything up. And Infinity War doesn't even have a conclusion. It just has... It's like, what if that was the ending to the MCU? Great, so everyone just dies? Or half of everyone just dies? It's like, is that really a good narrative? It's like you have to have a conclusion, like a rise and a fall of the antagonist and the protagonist and what they're clashing about. And right now, it's like we're right at the midpoint. Like I don't think that there was a real conclusion in this movie. I think it was just now we have the big setup with the Spot being way more powerful than what we expected him to be,
and
which I love. And and what happens with Miles at the end of the film, which I won't say, but just how that transition is going from. I'm locked.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Am I locked?
Wait, what?
Oh no. Oh! I'm trapped. Gloria, no. Oh! People, no. Oh! I'm trapped.
Oh no.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
We're trapped. We're trapped in
All
a
right.
cube.
Restart. No one saw that. First try. Here we go. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, like this is at the midpoint. This is like at the crucible of where we're getting to the big, heavy-hitting conclusion of this story. And it's like, whoa, that was really great with Infinity War, but Endgame was trash. It's like, but they're it's the same movie. It's the same film.
Movie, yeah.
It's the same. You can't dislike Endgame because it's part of Infinity War. So it's like with Across the Spider-Verse, everyone's like, God, so I've seen people say God, they're mad at the ending because it's like, why would they end it there? It's like, well, that's the point of a part one to get you to see part two. So it's like, you can't dislike part one without fully seeing part two. So really, what I'm saying is, my opinion isn't formulated yet for this movie because if I talk to her again, am I going to get glitched out? I hope not. But my opinion, even though I loved it, and I genuinely think I like it more than Into the Spider-Verse, simply because it felt more like a Spider-Verse film, because that's the whole concept of these movies is the Spider-Verse. This was 1,000% a Spider-Verse movie. I need to see Beyond the Spider-Verse now to see where it lands, because the story is just starting.
Yeah, this is like that. Now we're basically like in the middle point of the story. Like this is not even
there wasn't even really an ending. You know, it's like now we're kicking off to like the big next chapter of this whole thing of like what's going on with Miles and Gwen and Peter and Miguel, because Miguel's still there. He's still a big presence.
Yeah, and he actually okay. So like I'm not gonna say anything. Just for the sake of not spoiling anything. But Miguel, he's still gonna go and find Miles for what he does in this film and all that. Like he's still gonna go after him, even after everything he has done in this movie. So who knows what he might do in Beyond the Spider-Verse. But which, by the way, Spider-Man 2099, he was great in this film.
Oscar Isaac, my God. I think there were like 2 or 3 separate moments where I actually like audibly cheered during the movie. And like one of them was, of course, it's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer, but they do a couple different stuff with them in the movie, is Insomniac Spider-Man showing up, but also Spectacular Spider-Man, who was shown in the poster, and even more so the chase scene in the trailers we see where like Miguel chokeslams Miles and they have that big fight on the moving train. That whole sequence where they're fighting and talking to each other, I was like rooting for Miles the entire time. And when he gave his like big monologue to Miguel, and like what he's talking to him about, like I was like, wow. And then even more so where Peter and Miles were talking about, him having Mayday and all that. I was like, no way. Like they're doing so much justice to everyone, and it's like, oh, how could you like Miguel? He's a villain. It's like, no, he's not a villain. He's trying to do the right thing for the greater scope of everybody, because he's already experienced so much loss. He's like, I'm not going to let that happen again. So it's like, is he really a bad guy for trying to stop people from dying across different universes, or it's like trying to stop Miles from, going after and ruining things for everyone else? But then, of course, he gets a bit more personal with it later on, which I won't spoil, but where he starts to kind of like, what's it called? Go after Miles. Not verbally, but like emotionally, and narratively with what's going on. And this isn't spoilers. If you've seen any of the trailers, this all happens in the trailers where he's going after Miles. But yeah, with what they do with him, like, yeah, man.
Also, that whole like
hits hard.
Chase, like that whole chase scene of Miles, and then every one of the Spider-Man just going behind him. It was like, oh my God, that was probably the greatest sequence I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
like,
that whole chase sequence, I was like, what is happening right now? This is insane.
There were so many like great moments and some hilarious like lines in that chase, but it was so great, and like some of the jokes that they play out in that chase were actually pretty funny, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, what is happening? Like, this is so good, but I was like, yeah, I was blown away. That whole sequence where they're traveling through the area of the lobby. The Spider-Verse lobby, and then, where they go into the train, and then they go to different areas of the locations of the world they're in, which I won't spoil where it is, but man, that was nuts.
Yeah.
But I don't think, did the movie, no, it's Blasty, it's not spoiler, don't let that get to your head. We're literally, anyone who's like, you're spoiling the movie, it's literally shown in all the trailers that they chase Miles on the train with the spider people. But I'm saying, which is not a spoiler, is, actually, no, it is a spoiler if I say this, so I won't say it. But I will say, in terms of, because I'm a big music guy, I think the soundtrack for the first movie was better than Across the Spider-Verse, because there's so many iconic songs in that album. But I have been listening a lot to Silk and Cologne and Calling, which are the 2 of the songs from the album, which I really do like. Everyone's like talking about the first track, which is Annihilate, which I like, but I don't think I like it as much as the other ones. And then the sequence where Gwen and Spider-Man 2099 and Jessica Drew Spider-Woman are fighting the Vulture, that actually went on a lot longer than what I was expecting. And I actually really liked it. but I thought it was great. But yeah, I thought the movie, presentation-wise, animation-wise, 1,000% tops Into the Spider-Verse, no question. In terms of the execution, though, I wonder if people will agree with this or not. If the scene had as many iconic moments as Into the Spider-Verse did, because I liked Into the Spider-Verse. I didn't love it like a lot of people. Like, this is the greatest Spider-Man movie of all time. Like, they loved it. I liked it a lot. I really, really liked it. But I don't know if Across the Spider-Verse had as many iconic moments as Into the Spider-Verse, because Into the Spider-Verse had like several iconic moments in that film with all the Spider people. Mainly Miles, with, of course, the What's Up Danger scene. That was the highlight of the whole movie. And I don't know if Across the Spider-Verse had something like that for Miles or any of the other Spider people. Not to say any of it was bad, because it was all great, but I wonder if it had that same level of, impact that Into the Spider-Verse had. What scene for you, without spoiling it, was the scene that stood out to you for the movie, for Miles or any of the Spider people? For me, I think I would say the chase sequence, or maybe just the chase sequence. That's what I'm saying. It's hard for me to think about what would work best.
Well, for me, it would be like, I'm not going to say what it is, because it does actually connect to some stuff that it's not revealed to the public yet, so I can't really say too much. But there is a moment in the movie that I was like, wow, they actually are like connecting everything. Again, I'm not going to say what it is, but they do actually do some crazy stuff that I was...
I think I know what you mean. Yeah. I was like, wow, they're actually going all in, like connecting every dots from not just this movie, but from the Spider-Man universe in general. That's all I'm going to say. Yes. Don't worry. Anyone who's worried about it, don't worry, we're not spoiling anything about the movie. We're just talking about our thoughts generally about what the movie included. But again, rating-wise, if you guys want a rating from me, like a 9, super close to a 10. But the only thing is, it's a part 1, so I need to see how the story concludes with Beyond the Spider-Verse. But right now, it's a 9 out of 10 for me. For me, it's a 9 out of 10 as well. Yeah. It was a great movie, I will say. It is definitely probably my favorite movie of the year, I will say, probably. Mm-hmm. And like, because I mean, I like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I thought it was pretty good, but this is like top movie. This beats Guardians by a landslide. No. Like, even the Guardians game beat Guardians 3 by a landslide, in my opinion. Everyone's like, how could you say that? I'm like, come on. If you guys say that, you gotta play the Guardians game first and then come back to me. But Across the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse chokeslammed Guardians 3, in my opinion.
And honestly, like,
and I'm not just saying that because it's Spider-Man, but it's actually like a narratively a far more compelling movie than what I saw from Guardians.
Yeah, and like, honestly, I now see it really hard for Marvel Studios to like come up with anything that will be considerably better than that we have here in Across the Spider-Verse. It's like even if they try, I don't think they will ever come across with the level of quality that we saw and Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I mean, like, they have done, like, the team over there, like, at Sony Animation Studios with Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they have done so much for Miles' character in the span of, like, 5 years. It's insane.
Yeah, it's like...
like, mainly, yes, all the other Spider people are great to see, but mainly, like, showing this blossoming effect of Miles in the mainstream is genuinely beautiful, because I think Miles is a wonderful character. I didn't like him at first, because I thought he was just a genuine carbon copy of Peter in the comics, because they didn't really do a lot to differentiate him from Peter and make him, like, justified as a Spider person. But then, now in Insomniac's games, and Into the Spider-Verse, now Across the Spider-Verse, I was baffled by what they do with, like, certain narrative plot points for Miles' character to really emphasize, like, hey guys, he's not just a spider person, he's not just another alternative spider, and he is Spider-Man, just as much as Peter, just as much as Miguel, just as much as Gwen is Spider-Woman, just as much as Jessica Drew, anybody. And I think that was beautiful with what they showed for his character in this film.
Yeah, it's actually like baffled how much Sony has done with the Spider-Man IP. Like it's incredible what they have done. I mean,
Yeah,
we have the Insomniac Spider-Man games. We have now the Spider-Verse movies, and
you
it's
just got
like
No Way Home.
and we also just got No Way Home, and now we're getting MCU Spider-Man 4, but that's probably going to be a while until we eventually
Yeah.
get to, yeah, because of the writer's strike going on currently right now. And so no, but like so far I will say Sony, they're definitely going to keep the Spider-Man IP for a long time if they keep releasing projects, if it is like
Oh
an
yeah,
animated
they can't run out of
movie.
that spider money any sooner. They're keeping that check fresh. But mainly with what I think didn't I see on
Yeah.
online or something that the opening box office weekend for Across the Spider-Verse is dominating more so than the Mario movie is?
Oh yeah. I saw it.
Is
I
that
was
what's
like,
happening? Because right now
holy.
didn't they say like the Mario movie is the most highly financially
It,
profitable animated movie of all time?
I think it's like the third highest. I think it's the third one actually. The third
So now I
highest.
think that Spider-Verse is going to top that pretty darn
Oh
fast.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think. I don't know, actually, because Mario is a big character and not everyone likes Spider-Man. Shocking, I know, but now with what's going on with him and how popular he's become, there's a good chance that they could do some, make bank.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just came
question
out.
from.
I mean, technically, like people say, oh, it came out on June 1st. Technically, it just came out yesterday. So,
Yeah,
like,
June
officially on
2nd.
June 2nd. So, and I saw it on the 1st because I got to see it, I saw it in advance, not like from Sony or anything, but it just like went there, late at night on a Thursday evening. Like, are there any tickets available to see this movie before it gets spoiled from you online? And there was one seat left. I'm like, let's go. And I just saw it by
Let's
myself. I'm
go.
like, yeah, so I did it. So I did that, and it was awesome. It was sick.
Yeah. Yeah. But actually, speaking of the opening sequences, that apparently I've actually seen people that apparently there was some audio problems going on with the movie at the beginning.
Yes!
So.
Me too. I don't know what it was because the audio was very low for like the beginning sequence for Gwen's stuff, but also I could not understand the majority of what Spider-Punk was saying. There were so many scenes. I'm like, what is this man talking about?
Yeah, like, what is he saying?
Yeah.
No, but, like, for me, I actually did not have this issue, but I guess this is something that happens in a couple of, like probably, like, an issue with some theaters or something. But yeah, it's actually really odd that's an issue that's been going on with this movie. Okay. Oh, question from Sway. He says, "Do you guys think we will get DLCs for Marvel Spider-Man 2?" I mean,
Yes. I say
absolutely.
yes. Because this is not a Miles type game. This is not a standalone spin-off. This is the full-on sequel. And
yeah, this is
with how
this
big
is a
this
full-on
game's going to
sequel, yeah.
be, with how massive they're planning on making it, both in terms of the map size and the content, the story, I would say yes. I don't know if they're going to do another type of 3-chapter story DLC like The City That Never Sleeps, but I think there could be like a very interesting possibility for making like, what if they do like a Venom DLC or another type of City That Never Sleeps thing with other characters that could pop up in the game, like Sandman, Mysterio, or whoever, like that could happen too.
Yeah, or if it's gonna be like one big DLC chapter thing that that has like a story of its own, that has probably like a new section of the map or something, like God knows.
Right, or like, of course, you gotta know for a fact they'll add the DLC because of new costumes people want to see. Like, all that. Like, are they gonna add the what's it called? The Cosmic Spider-Man suit, the Sensational Spider-Man suit, like we saw in the Spider-Verse recently, the Max Born, 2211 Spider-Man, 2211 Spider-Man with the helmet and the 4 arms. That one.
Yeah, that one as well. Like my God, I think, but the thing is, considering how much amazing work people are doing with the suits and the PC versions of Spider-Man remastering Miles Morales, it's like
especially with how big the modding community has stepped up. They're gonna add like what's it called?
Yeah.
Like you got like, oh well, if all these suits were in the PC version, why should I buy a PS5? Here's why. And then they add like, who knows, like crazy Spider-Man suits we haven't even seen yet, or just brand new Spider-Man suits we haven't seen yet. Because again, not only are we going to get probably comic book suits, but we're probably going to get like original Insomniac designs, like what we saw in Miles' game and Peter's game with the Velocity suit, the Resilient suit, Miles' 2099 suit. That's an original creation.
The
2020. No, actually, no. The 2020 suit. No. That one is a comic cover. That's a variant cover for Miles. That one is a comic. But the programmable matter suit, the advanced tech suit.
Yes, the advanced tech suit. The obviously the Prowler.
Yeah,
suit for Miles.
the Purple Rain is it called? Yeah, that one. Like all these costumes. Original creative designs from Insomniac, but also comic accurate stuff. Like I know a lot of people want to see the 10-year anniversary Miles suit.
Yeah, that one. Or
the one where he has like the little hoodie wrapped up to his face,
Or the Captain or like what John.
Oh yeah, the Captain Miles Morales suit. That'd be cool.
Yeah, or the the name that Spider's getting away, call him the Puerto Rican Spider-Man, because it has like the colors of the flag and all that.
That could be cool. Same thing with like
Yeah,
the Spider-Verse suits, of course. The Miles is across the Spider-Verse suit. Is going to be in the game for a fact. That's probably going to be one of the pre-order bonuses. And then Peter, I don't know what they'll do with him, because would they give him like a Miguel O'Hara suit? Because you can wear a 2099 suit in Spider-Man PS4. So would they do that for Peter, or would they give him like his own advanced suit Spider-Verse design? Because they do that. It's in the movie. Like the advanced suit in the Spider-Verse art style is in the film. So it's like, would they do that, or would they give him like, just Miguel's suit instead?
Yeah, what other? Well, I mean, obviously they're gonna include like the Final Swing No Way Home suit. I'm assuming that one's probably going to be also one of the pre-order bonuses as well for Peter.
I think this is gonna be hard, because would they be in the game initially, or would they? What suits are gonna be like the pre-order suits? For sure, it's gonna be Miles is across the Spider-Verse suits already won. I already know for a fact they'll do that. Peter's is hard. I don't know what they'll do for Peter. Like, would it be the TASM 2 suit, or the No Way Home final suit? Maybe that one might make sense.
Yeah. And like maybe like an original suit design from Insomniac. Like that's another one.
Right.
Or like maybe, because the thing is that with the other games it was a comic suit, a movie suit, and then an original design by Insomniac. Those are usually
that's right. The trifecta.
Yeah, it's usually the trifecta. Yeah, that exactly.
Although for Miles, it was just
two.
An original design and the Into the Spider-Verse suit. So a movie suit and an original design, because Miles doesn't have a whole lot of comic suits. But now Miles has gotten a couple new suits in the comics, so yeah, they could do a comic suit, a movie suit, and an original design. So Miles, original design, that's one. Cross the Spider-Verse suit, that's two. Comic suit could be like the 10-year anniversary Miles suit. That sounds good. Peter, movie suit, No Way Home suit. Individual Insomniac design, that's another suit. Comic suit, give me. Oh, you know what? I already know. I almost said it. I almost let it slip, but you already know what I want. You should know this.
The ultimate black suit.
There you go, baby. That's it. I don't even care if it's a red suit.
Yeah.
Just give me that. Ultimate Spider-Man purple black suit pre-order bonus. Please and thank you.
Yeah, like for me, like, and also that's actually the other thing with the black suit is that they went with the pure black color and not black with purple or black with blue, just pure black, the black suit. Which I believe that makes it the third, like the third interpretation of the black suit that only has black color, because the other two were the Raimi suit and the Spectacular Spider-Man black suit. Like, those two were pure black.
That was pure black, and then also the 90s cartoon was blue.
Yeah, the 90s show, because the 90s show was blue,
and black and blue. But yeah, the purple came from the Ultimate Comics.
Yeah, from the Ultimate Comics and the Ultimate Spider-Man game. It was, oh my god! Like, can you imagine?
You have no idea how long I spent trying to get the black suit in that game because you have to find all the tokens. And when I did, I never took that thing off. I never ever took that thing off because how good? Like I know people. Oh, you can play as Black Suit Spider-Man in Shattered Dimensions, and that's the Ultimate Universe, and that's where it's also purple too, which is true. But come on, it does not hit as well as it does in the Ultimate Spider-Man game.
Yeah, even though it's just a cosmetic, I still don't care. I'm gonna get all those damn tokens just to get the freaking
just to get that suit, just to get that suit because it's worth it. It is worth all the nuts and bolts.
Can you imagine if Insomnia actually does that with their version of the black suit? Like, oh, in order to get the black suit, you have to get everything done in the game, like 100%. My God, that'll be like Insomnia just like freaking putting their fans like, oh, you want me to do everything in the game just to get the black suit?
Right.
I'm
Guess what? You already got the black suit. No, but not my black suit, not the ultimate black suit. You already got Insomniac's design. Yeah, that's great, but do you have the ultimate design? No. Well,
no.
You're going to put some dirt in your eye.
I'm going to put some dirt in your eye.
Put some dirt in your eye. No, I'm kidding. We love you, Insomniac, but man, come on. I mean, what else would they have what could they possibly add for alternate black suits? Raimi Spider-Man 3, of course. Ultimate black suit. 90s black suit, maybe, with the blue tint. Comic black suit, classic iconic comic black suit. The OG black suit with the red logo instead of the white logo.
Yeah.
Which one, again, my buddy Ronnie Pugs and I did a video about this 2 years ago. Top 10 black suits we want to see in Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, that one is as well. What could be the Spectacular Spider-Man black suit? That could count.
One. Yes. I know people don't like it. I know. Yeah, you're gonna say the same thing, right? I know people don't like the show, but the Disney XD Spider-Man black suit.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if they also like? I hate the show.
Baffled
because it's like
you know they probably will because they added. Look, they added. Let me put it on. They added the Miles animated suit in this game. Besides Into the Spider-Verse, they just had the animated, normal-looking Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon Miles suit, which is crazy.
Yes, I mean, yeah, they could also do that as well. But that also means they're probably gonna add the Spider-Man suit from the Disney XD show, I mean, I like the design. It's just that I don't like. I hate the show.
But again, if we're looking from a what's it called, like a visual aesthetic, then that's what matters, not the narrative of the show, just the visual of how good it looks. I saw someone ask in the comments, I think it's Jaden, am I going to do Wolverine videos? I've already been doing Wolverine videos on Marvel's Wolverine PS5. I've been doing it. Sadly, there's not a lot of news on the game, but I have been doing lots of collabs with my boys, Salvage and Podcast Now. We've done videos about the game quite a while ago, and I've reported on news about the game that's kind of occurred a few months ago. So there's a lot about it that I've already talked about. And for anyone wondering, like on my channel, there are playlists, big playlists on the homepage of all Marvel games, whether that's Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, Marvel's Iron Man game, which I'm super pumped for, the Captain America Black Panther game, Midnight Suns, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers even, sadly, I hate that game, but that still exists, Spider-Man PS4, and Miles Morales. All of them, all the Marvel games are there for your viewing pleasure that I've talked about in so many videos, and I love talking about them with all of you.
Okay, so we're gonna do actually a little fun thing. So we're gonna do a little Q&A section.
And I might only stream for like a half an hour longer because I might have to hop off soon, sadly. But I want to do the stream for all of you, and I know not a lot of people are watching the stream compared to my other videos because I never stream that much. But for those of you who joined, I appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a Q&A section to celebrate the 100K subs. So you can leave your questions in the chat, and I will read it for them. And if you have any questions regarding Evan, regarding the channel, or anything like that, just leave it in the chat, and I will read it for them. And Evan will be more than honored to answer them.
Leave a shout. And by the way, I also read every single one of your comments in my videos. I sadly am so busy that I never have time to respond to any of them, but as you have probably seen, I always leave hearts and likes to the majority of your comments because all you are fantastic. You are stars and heroes in my eyes, and I would be nothing without you, truthfully. So thank you all for your support, and thank you to all the incredible people who donated during the stream as well. You don't have to do that, but I genuinely appreciate it. Thank you. Again, save your money, just like if you're a Spider-Man fan like me, which I know you are. Save your money for the big, bank-breaking collector's editions that you know that will be for this game sooner or later.
Yeah, okay. First question comes from Malcolm's, and he says, oh, this is a bit of a controversial question. Are you and the amazing Lucas still friends? Okay, we're going to ignore that. Ghosty, I don't know why you would say that question, but we're just going to move on from that. Next one. Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, we're not going to answer that one, sorry. Yeah, so we're going to move on to that one. Any other Marvel character you want to see getting a game? So any Marvel character you want to see a game of? Come on, you already know. Well, there's two actually, two big ones. But we already know. We all know who we want to see be turned into games. I'll just say them: Daredevil and Fantastic Four. It is shocking. I'm still a little bit upset. I'm actually still a little bit upset that the Skydance new media game, who are currently working on the Captain America Black Panther game, I'm actually still upset that they were not working on a Fantastic Four game. I thought for sure they were going to work on a Fantastic Four game because they got Amy Hennig of Uncharted fame to direct the game, and they teased before it was revealed what it was. It's like it's a big all-star ensemble cast of characters, plural, for this next big Marvel game. It's like, okay, all-star cast, ensemble heroes, Marvel game, Amy Hennig Uncharted. Kind of like a little bit of a, it sounded like it was going to be like a little bit of a like sci-fi vibe, but it wasn't. But we thought, Fantastic Four, let's go. Like that's the only like remaining team, I guess, besides the X-Men or Defenders or maybe Inhumans or Runaways, whatever. Like the main big team. Like we got Avengers, we got Guardians. What's next? Okay, Fantastic Four. Surely, no. Instead, we get Captain America and Black Panther.
Captain America, Black Panther. We're fine, but like they're already in Avengers.
They're already in Avengers. Like, why make an entire game dedicated to those two characters? Yes. Okay. Horia Hog, hopefully I pronounced the name right. Hey Evan, if Spider-Man is your favorite superhero, who is your second favorite character?
If you mean in Marvel terms, Daredevil. If you mean Marvel, in just superhero terms in general, Batman. But Marvel, like I think I've said, I would think I've said in different occasions, like my favorite Marvel characters are Spider-Man, Daredevil, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, yes, because in my opinion he's like one of the standouts of the Fantastic Four. I love Ben Grimm and the Human Torch, and even Sue Storm as the Invisible Woman, but Reed Richards is like literally just stretchy, nerdy me. My boy Iron Jen's in the chat too. What's going on, Jake? But yeah, top 5 we'll say is Spider-Man, Daredevil, Reed Richards. I've really come attached to Iron Man in recent years, not just because of the movies, but also because of his certain comic runs, but also the amazing, which I did a video about with my buddy Ismazing a while back, is the Armored Adventures cartoon. One of the best things about Iron Man is that show. So Iron Man's up there, and I think it's number 5 is a tie between either Punisher or
Doctor Strange.
No. I love Doctor Strange, but I don't think he's in top 5. Top 5 games I want a Doctor Strange game from Remedy for sure. But which is another Marvel game we desperately need. Character probably number 5. Didn't he have a show recently? I swear to God, I thought he had like a Disney Plus or a Netflix show. I already said Punisher, didn't I? Yeah. So Daredevil, Punisher.
Moon Knight.
No. I liked parts of Moon Knight. People are like, this was terrible. I'm like, it was fine. Mainly near the end, it got a little bit wonky. But like that's pretty much Moon Knight from what I know from the comics is what they showed in the show. And Oscar Isaac is just great. But dang, who's number 5? I would have said Deadpool, but I don't know if he's number 5. I mean, he's great, but I don't know if he fits on the number 5 list. But yeah, Spider-Man, Daredevil, Spider-Man, Daredevil, Reed Richards, Punisher. No. Spider-Man, Daredevil, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, I mean, Iron Man, and... Why can't I think of a number 5?
Oh my god, this is like a common thing. Like, Evan cannot think of a number 5 from his top
Well, because
5.
it's just so on the spot. Because it's like, if I thought about it in advance, I'm surely I could think of something. But objectively, like, this is going to be embroidered into people's minds forever. I gotta think hard about this.
Jessica Jones?
No, you know what? No, I really like her character in the show, but in comics she's a bit different. But I mean, for the most part, like, they're the same. But like, they took some liberties in the show, which I think elevated her quite a bit. But
Wolverine?
No. He's awesome, but I don't know if it's top 5.
Black Panther?
No. God, I know what I'm thinking of, but I can't think of his name, you know? Like, I'm envisioning him. It's like... It's not like an obscure character, but it's not like a character that you usually think about as like a main Marvel mainstay. I don't think it's an Avenger.
Oh, if it's not... if it's not an Avenger... Is it an X-Men?
I don't think so. You know what? I think it is. It is. I know who it is. Spider-Man, Daredevil, Reed Richards, Iron Man, and Nightcrawler. That's who it was.
Oh, Nightcrawler, that's what it was.
Nightcrawler is freaking underrated as hell in the X-Men verse, but also just in the Marvel universe in general. He also has he also has a few run-ins with Spider-Man from time to time. Dude, goated. Absolutely goated.
Yeah,
Nightcrawler, if anything, deserves a game. I love Wolverine, but man, we gotta put some respect on my man, Nightcrawler.
Man, he was such a not even like a character in the X-Men movies. Like, they did him so dirty.
Yeah, in the films watch X-Men Evolution, and even Wolverine the X-Men. But X-Men Evolution does such justice to Nightcrawler's character. It's so good. I love Wolverine a lot, but I think my favorite X-Men probably is Nightcrawler.
Let's see. Devon Crawford says, when is Summer Game Fest taking place?
Yes, great question. That is happening on June 8th. So there's actually 2 big summer gaming events happening. One on June 8th and one on June 10th. So June 8th, and they're both feature PlayStation, which is awesome. So June 8th is Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest, which is going to show a bunch of brand new games from all companies, not just PlayStation, but PlayStation is confirmed to be there. And while we might see something Spider-Man 2 related there, maybe like a story trailer or something, I think that might be saved for the other event that I'm going to talk about, because I think instead we're going to see Death Stranding 2, because Jeff Keighley, if you don't know, is a big Hideo Kojima fanboy, but plus they're also buddies. So I think, if anything, and people are like, that PlayStation showcase was disappointing. And in my opinion, I totally think it was too. The only saving grace of it was the Metal Gear Solid remake and the remastered bundle, and Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
I think they blew their load in the 2021 showcase, because they showed everything. They showed God of War. They showed Wolverine. 2 Insomniac games, by the way. They showed Wolverine and Spider-Man 2. They showed God of War Ragnarok, and they showed Gran Turismo 7. And just all those other games during that event was awesome. But none of the games really made me, stand up and excitement, scratch my head like, whoa, what was that? I want to learn more about that. The only thing that people were there for, clearly in this community, but also just gamers were like, what's the Spider-Man 2 gameplay? And the Last of Us factions, but that wasn't there because now they said that they delayed it, or yeah, they did delay it. So
And besides Metal Gear Solid and Spider-Man, there was also Alan Wake 2 in there.
yes, which they're okay. I can't wait for that game, but I also find it hilarious that initially, if you guys don't know, Alan Wake was an Xbox exclusive, and now it's starring pupil of the gosh darn PlayStation Showcase. So it is actually wild how far the apple has fallen from the tree when it comes to Remedy's deal with Xbox. But also, I can't believe Xbox let them go and just let them do that. Because now Alan Wake 1 is remastered on PS5 and PS4.
And PS4.
And PS4. And now Alan Wake 2. But Alan Wake 2 is a full-on next-gen exclusive. And they showed it on the PlayStation Showcase. It is a cross-platform game, but come on. If they are showing like the reveal gameplay trailer for that game during a PlayStation event, that's already super telling. What I was going to say is the other event, like you were talking about, is, so there's Summer Game Fest on June 8th. Summer Game Fest on June 8th, and then the Summer Games Showcase, the Future Games Showcase during the summer on June 10th. And that one is where Yuri Lowenthal and Laura Bailey are hosting the event, talking about a ton of games from all platforms, but the main thing to keep in mind is that they specifically say PS5 games. So,
PS5 games.
If they're there, and even on the website announcement, they say the Marvel Spider-Man stars of Yuri Lowenthal and Mary Jane, a.k.a. Peter Parker and Yuri Lowenthal and Laura Bailey, and the whole element of them being there is going to add a whole new dynamic to. Are we going to see a new Spider-Man trailer? Are we going to see a release date finally? Because now it's go time. In my opinion, they can't keep waiting on whatever they're waiting on for what's it called? For Spider-Man 2. We waited a year and a half. We got the gameplay demo during the PlayStation Showcase. We're now here, so now they have to actually show off what this game's about.
Yeah, we're now literally in the end game now. They have to showcase stuff for the game now. Because we've been waiting for it. And like the one thing that that people were like, because all we have from the Spider-Man 2 before the gameplay showcase was the announcement trailer, and then also the two screen, like the screenshot of Peter Parker and Miles Morales just standing in their suits. Like that image is like basically the only the whole thing that we have from Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, so now we need something else, and of course, pre-orders and release date info is gonna be big, but also like start telling to retailers like when's this game coming out? What are the additions for the game? What's the big special $500 collector edition statue gonna look like? So they gotta start promoting all that to all the retailers.
Like that, what will be like the biggest disgrace ever is that if Sony comes in and they're like, just to save money, that we're only going to release Marvel Spider-Man 2 as a digital only release.
Okay, well, I'm actually a bit worried about that because Alan Wake 2 just did that. If you guys don't know, Alan Wake 2 confirmed recently that the game is only coming out digitally, and I think it's because the size of the game is too big or something. I don't know, but I find that extremely odd. I don't know what their reasoning is talking about because any game should be coming out physically. That's why I still find it weird that the remaster for Spider-Man PS4 is only a digital release. Granted, they just re-released it individually, which, by the way, I don't know why on earth anyone would buy it individually when you can save money by buying the Ultimate Edition of Miles Morales, where you get two Spider-Man games for the price of one.
Yeah, because
why would anyone do that? But
I think the remaster is like what, $50 or something.
Yeah, the remaster by itself is $50. But if you buy the Miles Morales Ultimate Edition, it's $70, where you get Miles and the remaster together. So why on earth would they sell it digitally by itself unless they were also going to do a physical version? Where that would make sense, in a way. Like, the physical version's out, get the game on disc for the remaster by itself with Miles or whatever to prepare for Spider-Man 2. But they didn't do that, which I find very strange.
And also, there is the weird possibility that the collector's edition of the game might not even include a disc. It's just going to include like a freaking piece of paper with the voucher code of the
Well,
game.
that's what I'm saying. It's like if they, I don't know what is going into making games nowadays, how big or whatever they are, but like this should, like if they, knowing Insomniac though, they did not do that for Ratchet and Clank. Granted, this is going to be a much bigger game than Ratchet and Clank, so who knows? But I would hope that they actually, you know, prioritize making games physical, because physical games are important. Physical games last forever. You can pop in your console and that's that. But if the license runs out for a digital release or something, or your console just isn't working properly, then digital is never a guarantee that a game could run properly.
Meg Sean Williams says, Evan, would you like to see Sandman or Mysterio in Marvel's Spider-Man 2?
You already know the answer. Both. Both. It's bigger and better than the first game, so we gotta get everybody. Anyone who wasn't in the first two games should be fair game now for Marvel Spider-Man 2. And yes, the motherfucker, I did play Ratchet and Clank. I played all the Ratchet and Clanks. Going Commando, Up Your Arsenal, the first one, Rift Apart, the PS4 version, Deadlocked. I love Ratchet and Clank. Although, I'm sorry, Insomniac, I love you, but anyone who knows me knows that I yes, you already know me. I love Sly Cooper to death. I'm so mad that wasn't a thing at this showcase. Like, I wanted either an Infamous remake or a PS5 remaster of the old Sly games or something. I don't know, but just like, come on, give me some Sly Cooper, Sony. What is your deal? Why do you hate Sly so much? He needs to come back. Sly Cooper is our boy.
I think you can blame that to Jim Ryan. He's like, oh, I'm just
Jim
gonna not make any games.
Ryan, my arch nemesis. Yeah, Leon YT. I do like Jak and Daxter. I played a few of those games from Naughty Dog, but I prefer, in order of like the main Sony mascots, I prefer, it goes Sly Cooper number 1, Ratchet and Clank number 2, Crash Bandicoot number 3, and Jak and Daxter number 4. I was never really a big Jak and Daxter guy, but Sly Cooper, those, man.
And do you know that they were even going to make an animated movie of that character, only for the movie
Yes,
to be canceled because
it got canceled. I saw the trailer for it. It looked amazing, but they got rid of it
and
because
like,
they just hate fans, I guess. But man.
No, the actual reason why they got canceled is because the Ratchet and Clank animated movie did not do well at the box office. Yeah, it bombed.
Didn't they cancel it before that came out, though? Because that movie was tying in with the game that came out based on the movie. So I don't know what's going on, but I don't know about... I just want... I want Sly. Sony, I want Sly back. That's all I ask. Is that too much? I don't think so. But I guess for them, maybe it is. Because they're like, we got to get more live service games out there. Jim, we got to get more, I don't know, consoles into people's hands without giving them exclusives to play. Jim? Gosh darn. I don't know. Jim
like,
just...
oh, we're going to...
You know what really grinds my gears? Jim Ryan. That's all I'll say. But anyways...
Oh my god! No, that guy when he sees a PS2, PSP game.
Well, just look at like anyone who's like listening to me who's like, "What are you talking about? This doesn't make any sense for Spider-Man." Like, you guys got to research the industry because I'm a big gaming guy and I look at like all the news that goes on when it comes to like the gaming industry, these acquisitions with the studios, who's buying what, who's saying what, who's talking to who's dealing with whoever else. Because they all impact these games one way or another, whether you like it or not. So seeing the business deals that Jim Ryan is doing does not make me confident for PlayStation's future. I'm pumped for Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine, 1,000%, but that's mainly because Insomniac. That's not because of PlayStation. That's mainly about what the developer is doing for the characters. But the company of PlayStation has gotten a weird direction ever since Sean Layden left, who is one of my idols for the gaming industry. Both him and Shuhei Yoshida, if you guys know who that is, he was the previous head of PlayStation. Now he's running the indie division for PlayStation. But Shuhei was that man. He was him, and so was Sean. And they did so much for the PlayStation brand that their efforts cannot be undone. But Jim Ryan has managed to just kind of cuck things up recently, and it's kind of getting on my nerves. Whoa, okay, that guy went flying. But we shall see whether or not these future games will live up to the task of what Jim expects for the gamers to be in love with. Yeah, exactly. The mother effer. Insomniac is literally carrying PlayStation at this point. There's like no. I can't even think. Oh, thank you, by the way. $2 donation from Landon. I think Wolverine was announced too early. I 100% agree. I totally agree. We mentioned this earlier that I think they blew their load in 2021. Wolverine should have been announced this year. That's when Wolverine should have been. Wolverine should have been announced whenever that was, when the PlayStation Showcase. It already feels like it's a month ago at this point, but because time is insane. But yeah, they should have announced Wolverine this year's PlayStation Showcase instead of 2021. But they just wanted to double down on the hype for what Insomniac was doing. But yeah, I don't even know, because God of War Ragnarok and Horizon Forbidden West, despite how much I love both those games, were not next-gen exclusives, even though they totally should have been. They were cross-gen games. And even though I love the Burning Shores DLC for Horizon, which was only released on the PS5, the game itself wasn't a cross-gen game. So it's going to make me question whether or not the rest of the games are going to be up to par with what we're seeing now with Spider-Man 2. But also, again, like, oh, well, now, God of War, Sony Santa Monica, because God of War Ragnarok was the end of the Norse duology, because they said, oh, that's going to be the end. That was it, which I think was a mistake. I think they should have done more to expand the story further, but whatever. But they did that, and now we got this, so it's making me wonder what is next for Sony Santa Monica. And what they've said is that they're working on some type of sci-fi game. And that could also be for Naughty Dog too. So it's making me wonder what type of experience are we going to get from them that really pushes the PS5 to areas we've never seen before. Because right now, the only thing we got is Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine. But other than that, I do not know what they can offer in terms of scope and scale to really differentiate the PS5 from the PS4 cross-gen games, but also deliver these next-gen experiences that like make you want, like, the reason why Spider-Man 2 should work in the sense of an exclusive, because whenever we see that game, like, footage, which we have, but I mean, like, the final version of it, is like, that's why I need to buy a PS5. That's why I need to own that console. And right now, like, even with Miles Morales and Horizon Forbidden West and God of War Ragnarok, they didn't really do a whole lot to make me go like, man, this can only be done on the PS5. Granted, it looks amazing on the PS5, but it's not really incentivizing me as a consumer to go out of my way and buy the console. Whereas now it's like, I need to buy a PS5 just to play this game. And for me, that should be Spider-Man 2. It should be. I'm hoping it will be, but I need to see more of like the story and the gameplay and, you know, what the final refined version of the product looks like to really hit home like, yeah, this is what the PS5 is all about, and we can only keep our fingers crossed. Let's see. But with all that said, everybody, yeah, we've been streaming for almost 3 hours. I think we might be good. I mean, it's almost already 5 o'clock, but it's almost 4:30 for me. But yes, official Radic. That's a great example. FF16 does look amazing. That's a great example. I played Final Fantasy VII a little bit, but like what they showed with Final Fantasy 16, mainly with that whole, with the icons and the gameplay demo, with the scope and scale, like, man, that looks wild. And that's just, you know, I think it's Tetsuya Nomura, right? Who does Final Fantasy? I always get him and the guy who does Smash, Sakurai, but that's Smash. But yeah, Tetsuya Nomura, who does the Final Fantasy games, he's a legend. So anything he touches is going to be great. And Final Fantasy VII was excellent. So I have no doubt that 16 is going to be dope. But yeah, like that's a game where it's like, man, that's what the PS5 can do. Same thing with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and like the mother effer said, that is a perfect example of the PS5's power with the world switching, the visual fidelity on all the character models, and we're now expecting the same thing with Spider-Man 2. And for me, I think they're already doing that with just the city itself. A lot of people are like, oh, it looks like a PS3 game. I don't know what you're looking at, but that's just a taste of the game. and it's on like a YouTube video instead of like the full game itself. But the city is mainly what stood out to me the most. The buildings, the lighting of the detail of the architecture, the scope, like how bigger it looks, like the grandiosity of the layout of all the structure and the scope of everything. That looked wild to me. Like if you didn't think that the first games already looked super realistic, the sequel is going to be like wild. And Trippy, yeah, sorry, I see your comments. Can I wall run down a building in this game? The answer is no. Insomniac does not let you do that in their Spider-Man games. But I'm hoping that maybe we could do that in Spider-Man 2. Who knows? But yeah, so you can only go sideways or upwards. Although you can wall run down in Web of Shadows. You can Naruto wall run down even in Web of Shadows. And slide on buildings, which is wild. So one of my favorites.
And also in both of the Amazing Spider-Man games, you can actually also wall run down.
Oops. Yes. Wait. No. Only in the second one you could. The first one you couldn't. But yeah. Or could you?
And also,
wait. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. I think you're right actually. But I know they had a very. But they had a very interesting animation in Amazing Spider-Man 2 where you could slide down a building when you're wall running down.
Oh yeah, that was actually cool. That's
what was sick about it. But yeah.
Yeah, and also one downside is that in Marvel Spider-Man 2, there's still no Chrysler building in Marvel Spider-Man 2.
I don't know what is going on with that, especially since they've had years now to talk to them about changing it or whatever. But yeah, it's still no Chrysler building, and it might also be the Discount Freedom Tower as well, so who knows?
the Discount Freedom Tower, the Freedom Tower that looks nothing.
Was it the Tyranny Tower?
Yeah, because there was the Freedom Tower, the original was actually
in the first trailer.
Game.
Yes.
Yeah,
and it looked amazing, trailer. But now they got rid of it, so I don't know why. I don't know if it's I don't know how that works. If it's like we're not going to let you use our building, or Insomniac needs to re-establish the rights or something. But man, look how good why would you not want your game to be? Why would you not want your building to be in this game? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
It's they're loose, I guess.
They are loose.
They're loose. It's like but hey, at least we're finally gonna get Queens and Brooklyn to be an explorable Marvel Spider-Man 2, which is like.
That's what it's all about. I can't wait. But anyways, guys, it's already past 4:30 for me. Been streaming for over 3 hours, I think. Yes, pretty much. So it's been a lot. And again, I am so bad that I never really stream, and I apologize for not streaming as much because, again, I'm currently living at San Francisco State University. I don't have a big YouTuber setup. I'm just doing this as a full-time job, but also being a full-time student as well. So it's a lot to deal with at once. But genuinely, all you guys make it worth it, and I would not be who I am or where I am today without each and every single one of you supporting me and the channel every single step of the way. And I can't thank every single one of you enough for all your incredible support that you have shown me throughout these past 7 years, if you believe it or not, 7 years since doing YouTube.
Is right.
Technically, if you want to be technical about it, 6 years since I started doing it officially with a YouTube laptop and microphone and all that, but really I started since with my phone in 2016 as just a fan with a voice. And the thing is, what?
And if you're gonna go even more technically, it would be 10 years since the channel was created in 2013.
That is different because even though you can see on the channel description, that's interesting you point that out. My channel description, it says it was created in 2013. That was just when I created the YouTube account to like post things online because I had to do stuff for like a high school project where we had to like share videos with people in our class, but it wasn't like for making videos that I did myself.
But obviously, it wasn't until 2016 when he was actually
when I really started to go for it. When I actually started to focus it full time as as a job, as a passion, but as an actual career. But again, starting it officially really was 2017, where I had my YouTube laptop and microphone and knew how to edit videos and try to conduct streams. So, which I'm still bad at.
when he was a pro YouTuber, basically.
Yes, but what I'm trying to say is the whole reason why I'm bringing all this up is because if I can do it, you can do it. Me, a little, nerd just at home watching a trailer of a Spider-Man game that got me hyped. It took a long time, but everyone has their own journey. And I know all of you are superstars. And if you want to do what I'm lucky enough to do, you 1,000,000% can, and probably do it better than I could ever even think of. So that's how amazing all of you are. That's how lucky I am to have people like you as audience members of the channel and just interact with people like you on a daily basis. I'm genuinely super blessed to always read all your comments and your posts and your thoughts, and even providing feedback for certain videos, or whether if you leave a like or a dislike, it's always great because that allows me to be a better creator and YouTuber and social media persona, whatever you want to call me, in the future, to be better for all of you guys. So, and again, I'm sorry if I wasn't able to read some of your comments or posts, and thank you to every single person who donated. Again, you are the gift that keeps on giving. I'm not worthy of your support, but I'm eternally grateful for it in every sense of the word, and I can only hope that I can keep doing you all justice with not only providing content, but also doing fun streams where I get to interact with all you, and hopefully in the future, doing like more charity live streams like what we've been able to do in the past, where we raise money for good causes to give back to the community, like what we've done with St. Jude's Hospital, Rady's Children's Hospital, Black Lives Matter, Black Girls Code, a bunch of amazing organizations that have reached out, but also that we're able to donate to as the Spidey Squad, as a family of supportive fans, because that's what Spider-Man would do. And we're here just to keep that hype alive, keep the passion going, and to keep the community growing, because each of you make it worth its while. And without you, the Spidey Squad wouldn't exist. So again, thank you for every single one of your support.
And before we go, Evan, do you want to give shout-outs to the people that inspire you and basically were the reason that you were able to do this for 7 years now, before we officially wrapped up?
Is that a question from you or a question from someone in the comments?
A question from me.
Both, maybe. Okay, you. I mean, again, like when I was a kid, I say like 18 years old isn't a kid, like it's a teenager, an adult, whatever. But when I was in high school, when I was still in high school, I watched on YouTube, like religiously, Angry Video Game Nerd, Game Grumps, mainly Ego Raptor, because I love Aaron Hansen, he's hilarious. And now I currently watch Pretty Much It, who is a hilarious commentary YouTube channel, who are some of the funniest people I've ever seen on YouTube. And even my boy Slickmoff. Who I watched all the time when I was watching all of his Batman videos. Like, man, the Arkham games are cool. I wish they did that for Spider-Man or something, but I always watched his videos. So, but mainly just like always looking to improve the craft, in the sense that I loved watching YouTubers do their own thing just for entertainment purposes, never thinking that I would be able to do that. But now being in the position where I am at, and now thanks to all you, it's just, again, the inspiration that I have as a YouTuber now is genuinely each and every one of you. That is honestly and truthfully the most genuine answer I can provide, because it's the truth. And all you allow me to be better than who I am, and make me strive to be better than what I even think I could be. So without your support every single day, I wouldn't be where I am now, and I wouldn't even think about doing what it is I'm lucky enough to do. And we're still on the journey. The hype train is not stopping. It's just the beginning. Spider-Man 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2 more specifically, is still coming out this fall, so stay tuned for all the news, all the updates, none of the clickbait, all the genuine, honest, deep dive breakdowns you could think of, and I'll be here to give you as best of content that I possibly can, whether it's one-on-one videos, more live streams, theory discussions, definitely some upcoming collabs, which you should be excited for, and a lot of cool stuff to always get hyped for our friendly neighborhood wall crawler. And with all that said, everyone, do you have anything to say?
Before, I wanted to give a shout out to the people that inspire us to be on this channel. So I'm going to give Some quick shout outs before we officially leave. So obviously, shout out to the big members of the Spidey Squad. Shout out to our good friend Spidey Stretch, Michael Stretch, Spider Scary Boy, our good friend Josh, always a great friend. Spidey Bugle, who designed the now iconic Spidey Squad logo, the Spidey Squad pin that made it into the game. Awesome
Yes.
guy. Spidey Vigilante, our good friend Jordan, who is obviously a great guy. Spidey Fan for the Win, great. Got someone that does great editing videos about Spider-Man and all of that. And uh, Talented Gamer HD, another great guy that does reaction videos to whatever new comes from Spider-Man and all that. Our amazing and our good friend Franco, aka Stealth Gamer 026, who was sadly not here with us because he's busy with his job, but always a great guy that is with the stream with us. Shout out to
Yes.
someone that was actually shout out to Spidey Outcast, our good friend Andrew, who was here. He dropped us a message in the chat. Someone that basically was one of the co-founders of the squad and someone that was always there to support the people and everyone that was working on the Spider-Man games. And obviously to cap it off, a shout out to the people that make these amazing games, Insomnia Games, Marvel Games, and anyone that works on them. And of
Yes.
course, Bill Roseman, the vice president of Marvel Games. If it wasn't for you people, none of these amazing games will ever get made. And we want to say thank you, and hopefully you're able to continue making these amazing games for years to come.
1,000%.
That's all I have to say.
I already went over that at the very beginning of the stream, but yes, I mean, of course, Insomniac Games, like, mainly, like, Insomniac and Yuri Lowenthal, and mainly, of course, Bill Roseman and Brian Intar, they honestly reinvigorated my love for the character of Spider-Man as a whole, not just for gaming, but just for how much I love what this character means, what he represents, and what he's able to do for people like us, just bringing fans together and just sharing that cohesive love all at once because we all genuinely care about this character. And it's amazing to see what he's done for the community since then and how far the community has grown because of him and the amount of love that he has for others, but also for the people that he protects. And what we try to do is just share that love with all you and just make sure that you know that we're all in this together. And the Spidey Squad Easter egg, which I would show you, but we're playing Miles now, so I can't. But in the remaster and the PS4 game, that logo there, it's not just for like, oh, that's a logo for our little YouTube group. And that logo is for any single Spider-Man fan out there who may have just picked up a comic, may have just seen a show, may have just seen a movie and not know anything about the character, or is a diehard fan of the character. That's for every single one of you. And I'm kind of getting emotional just saying it, but it's genuinely a mark of admiration, of love for the fans, but also what the fans have done for each other since then. Just being a group of people who have come together, sharing love for each other, but also for the character that we all know and love equally. And it would not exist without all the people that Ghosty just mentioned, but also without every single one of you. And again, to my boys, Jordan, Bugle, Andrew, Franco, you, Ghosty, Terry,
Yes,
Austin, Demetrius, even
Blasty,
Michael, Josh, Blasty, of course, everybody.
GP,
Just yes, JP, Adrian, my boys, Slickmoff, Salvage, Irongen, Luke Wayne, all you guys. We're all the Spidey Squad, and it's all thanks to you that we're able to be as wonderful as a community as we are. So again, thank you from all my heart and soul. 100,000 subscribers. I still can't believe it. And here's to the next 100,000, everybody. So again, thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, true believers, stay spectacular, Spidey fans. Have an amazing weekend. See Spider-Verse if you haven't already, and get hyped for more Marvel Spider-Man 2 news soon. Fingers crossed. But until then, love you all. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans, and peace out.
goodbye, everyone.